What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Who's ready for another trading day? I'm getting the day started, and today is one of those tough days. Caught in a trade right now, guys. Need to go ahead and stay managing this trade. We'll find out what happens on this. Definitely caught, and it's a smaller name, TGL. We'll talk a little bit about it when we get to the trading action. So if you see me turn to the stock, well, that's just protecting my own butt, but we'll see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens today. Let's get to the playbook. I got a lot for you guys. Let's get to the first action in our today's playbook. All right, here, first up, guys, we're going to talk about Pfizer as we take a look at this stock. I've been talking about this stock for a while now, and it did make a nice little boost on the first time it was on the playbook. So let's take a look at it and how it's trading today. And you guys can see how it's been kind of making this little kind of run. It made a run there towards 31.40s and then pulled back now back towards that 28.28 support where we pretty much broke out from. And this is when I was watching it as it was starting to get going, starting to get moving. Now I need to take a look to see if it really wants to push back above that 30. If we can get back through the 29 spot, it kind of did an undercut there on that Friday, the 27.85. Now we're at the 28.28, held it to the key. Now I'd like to see that support hold today, no matter what, and start to get through the 29s going towards the 30. If you can make that move, this will start looking like it's lifting above the prior resistance, which is around this 29.50s, and then can really start to make a run. We'll see what happens there in Pfizer. Not a bad one to keep on watch, especially as we're getting good news today from Eli Lilly and the drug space overall. We'll see if this can get a nice little push today. Let's go to the second one on the playbook, and we'll talk a little bit about aluminum. Yes, I'm talking aluminum here. And reason why, basic materials ripping lately, right? Gold, silver, making great moves. So I'm thinking aluminum lags and starts to make the move also. Nice, decent opening move yesterday. Now we look for a day two style move, right? Let's take a look at those charts. And CENX is one that you can look at, right? But there's always Alcoa, which is kind of the bigger name. But I'm looking to see if Century can make another lift off, right? You can see it here off of the 14 yesterday. We broke that 14. Now we're going towards the 15. So pullbacks towards lower 14s are actually interesting to me. And then also looking to see if we can get above 15s and then maybe starting to hold like 475 pullbacks. We're watching the CENX to start going, and Alcoa is another way to play this. So keep your eyes on this. And this is also a given tip because why? Because certain auto manufacturers said in their report that they were seeing a shortage in aluminum. Well, a part of me thinking, well, the stocks actually went down during that time, at least aluminum stocks. Now, will we start to see that lift and then mentions of that shortage? We'll find out. All right, guys, let's get to the third one here on the playbook as we talk open door technologies. And this is a little bit of a reach. Why? Because it's a smaller stock, right? But you can also take a look at a lot of different stocks in this space. I've talked about this now since Zillow started ripping. Let's take a look at the action there and see what we're seeing on the tape. Look at this, guys. This is one that I definitely want to keep a watch on. Open. Right? You can see how it's starting to recover the $2. This was a stock that it was at one point valued around $40. And of course, it's kind of more in the real estate space. And I can see a kind of a long-term trend line that it's gone to in the past. We didn't get on the last run towards it, which would have been that run towards 380s and 4. We got to $3. Now we've pulled back, starting to reload. The space is looking better with interest rates starting to talk about cuts, and that could actually cause these housing stocks to get a nice little lift. I'm seeing different stocks like Rocket continuing to push. We were watching this one when Zillow made the first move, and that was a move towards 18, and now it's at 19 and just continuing to stair step higher. So I'd be watching also kind of like the ITB, the Home Construction Index, because to me, this has a lot to do with more long taking a look into interest rates getting cut. And now that the outlook is almost a given, you start to see a lift off in these companies, real estate companies. I definitely keep an eye out for. And you guys know I've been talking also about the home builders. So keep your eyes on this. All definitely things to watch here in the space. Open door, what will happen here? And of course, you can also just trade Zillow. You got Redfin that you can also trade off of this. We'll see what happens. The reason I'm going with open, I can clearly see maybe a run to 250 and 3. And that's pretty good run, right? Just only that itself. If it can make that move from 2 to 3, not a bad little gain. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's bring you guys now over to, of course, the Sunrise Report, where we talk about why stocks are moving and what stocks are getting the lift. I hope you guys enjoy the playbook, and let me know what's on your playbook today. Hit the comments on this link, right? And tell me what stocks on your watch and why. We'll take a look at that action, and I'll even do it during the open. Once the open is gone, I'm going to go looking through some of those plays. So you guys out on Twitter right now, hit that comment and comment what stocks on your playbook today. Let's get to the Sunrise Report now and see what we got in store for you today. Good morning, everybody, and it looks like it's another bright day in the market, at least, as we continue with this up streak. We're talking about now going on 8 days straight, so this is ridiculous in my eyes, but especially after we're coming out of that, really worried, the panic in the streets. I talked about it, how a lot of the times we have V bottoms. Do I play it the best? I'll be honest, I don't. I don't play it the best, but have I seen it? And have I seen it countless times? Yes. So at this point, I think that everybody needs to put this play in their playbook. Whenever we're getting these quick downside actions, we see V bottoms all the time. So is there a problem with catching the falling knife? No, I really don't think that strategy has a problem, but that's a conversation for, of course, the live stream action. So come over a little bit later today, guys, especially stick around for you guys that are here right now, and we'll talk about this, right? But let's get to the action, of course. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Sunrise Report, of course, where we break down the top market moves and economic updates that you guys need to stay in the know, right? I'm Money Mitch, and I'm here to give you guys the big stories this morning. Let's take a look at the action. First one up, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about Hawaiian Airlines, right? Hawaiian Airlines has been trying to merge, of course, with Alaska Airlines, as these are two big airlines, but Hawaiian Airlines has been struggling a little bit in the way that they're running things. So this is a good outlook now. Of course, they're getting the nod here. First up, the major move, right? And now they're getting the nod from the DOJ, right? A green light for their $1.9 billion merger. The only other one that could compare to this one would be Virgin Airlines, right? So all eyes are now on the transportation department for the final nod. This deal could reshape the airline landscape, bringing more competition and potentially better deals for travelers. This is something to keep on watch. We'll see how it affects. I did see Hawaii Airlines start to really make a lift. And why? Because that was the more struggling airlines in this deal. So, of course, they're going to get a nice little lift off with this. We'll see how this actually goes and competes against other airlines. Will we see some of their kind of share go down? Of course, they battle a lot with Spirit Airlines, but we'll see what happens here. Alaska Airlines and Hawaii Airlines. Let's get to the second report here. As we kick things off, we start talking some nuclear action. Yeah, nuclear stocks, guys, as Trump in the headlines already and continuing. Here's some more outlook on what potentially he could be bringing to the table. So the shares of nuclear-related stocks like NNE and SMR are trading higher after former President Donald Trump pledged to eliminate the EPA's power plant rule. This is a fast track to deployment of the advanced small modular nuclear reactors if he should be reelected. This policy shift could be a game changer for nuclear energy stocks, sparking the investors' interest this morning. So keep your eyes on nuclear names. Those could continue seeing love, as this is a big move and really would be a different change in the way that energy was looked at. Of course, you guys all know how kind of the Democratic outlook and solar and renewable energy. Well, this is a different type of outlook, right? This is more into pushing into nuclear energy and smaller nuclear reactors. Definitely something to keep a watch. These companies could continue getting the lift. Let's get to the third report as we kick off Palo Alto. And of course, Palo Alto is a leader in the cybersecurity space. And we've been watching to see what happened in this, to keep an eye out also on the stock that got just completely walloped like CrowdStrike. We'll talk a little bit more about CrowdStrike during the open. But let's talk about the earnings here in Palo Alto, as they delivered a strong Q4 24 results. The cybersecurity giant reported an adjusted EPS of $1.51, beating the estimate of $1.41, with revenues at $2.189 billion, surpassing the $2.16 billion forecast. The company also issued a robust guidance for the next quarter and authorized an additional $500 million for stock repurchases, sending, of course, the stock higher. We'll see what happens with PanW if it can continue to lift. Definitely not a company that I would be battling. This is just the best of breed. At the end of the day, nothing that I want to get in front of. Keep your eyes to see if Palo Alto starts to affect the other names also. Zscaler, CrowdStrike. You can look at all these. Snow could be getting a lift off of this. We'll see what happens as the leader takes the move. Let's get to the next action as we keep it going, guys. Let's go over now to Tesla's action. And I think this is very important, right? We need to see what happens here. Oh, I kind of skipped one there. Let's get back. Let's go to Lowe's here. Don't want to miss that one. Okay, so on the flip side, Lowe's is facing challenges. Of course, the home improvement retailer cut its full year forecast and is now expecting total sales between 82.7 to 83.2 billion. This is, of course, down from the previous mention of 84 to 85. So a big cut down on the billions there, of course, for total sales. Not going to be a good outlook, as the company cited lower than expected do-it-yourself sales and a tough macroeconomic environment as key reasons for the downgrade. Of course, Home Depot just came in and told us the same thing. This is where it gets a little bit fishy, right? Because everyone's starting to think about things as they got a little bit better because of the retail sales that we got. But there's countless corporations that are telling us the warning is there in their earnings. There's two things that you can think about here. Are they just trying to lower the bar so they can meet expectations on the next report? Or are they really giving us some insight here and telling us, right, as investors, to be concerned about the macro environment? Well, keep an eye on that. We'll keep watching that here. Despite reporting Q2 earnings of $4.10 per share, beating the expectation, the stock is under pressure due to these concerns. We'll keep watch on Lowe. All right. And like always, guys, I think this is interesting because I think that this is one area that we can look at to give us some signs in the consumer. Let's kick it off now. I did want to talk a little bit about Tesla, so let's talk a little bit about this, is I think this is really important, right? As we shift gears, of course, to international action, as the EU has reduced the planned tariffs on Tesla's imported vehicles from China to 9%, down from the anticipated 20.8%. I don't know what Elon did to change this, but I will say that they definitely had a change of heart. Going from 20.8 down to 9% is no small feat. So I don't know what he did to make the change in the outcome. He definitely patted on the right shoulder of somebody and said, hey, don't forget me. Don't forget what I can do for you guys. And as you guys can see, we're getting a change here. This move, of course, comes after the EU reviewed comments of stakeholders and adjusted the duty rates. Tesla saw their shares saw a slight uptick in the after hours, of course, as the lower tariffs could help the company stay competitive in the European market. Big outlook here for Tesla, because we all know how they've been doing in China, and yeah, they have been struggling, but they have sold good, at least sold the car really well in China. We think about the US, they've done well there. The European market was still up to reach. Of course, we guys know with Giga Berlin, they've been trying to kind of kick that off and take it to the next level. But this is a big step for the EU, kind of taking a step down on the tariffs and giving them the opportunity to continue staying competitive. That's going to do it for that action in Tesla. Let's keep it moving, guys. Let's go now to Eli Lilly as we continue with the weight loss drug conversation, as Eli Lilly is making headlines for its groundbreaking results from the long-term study of its weight loss drug, Zepbound. The drug, of course, which also treats diabetes, reduced the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 94% in pre-diabetic patients. This data not only highlights the potential of Eli Lilly's treatment in combating obesity, but also underscores the broader health benefits of GLP-1 class drugs, which are rapidly gaining popularity. And of course, this is important because there's multiple GLP-1 drugs, right? Is this going to help the diabetes or pre-diabetes? Of course, there's a lot of people that go under pre-diabetes, so they could start taking this drug to try to hold back that diabetes of coming, right? So keep your eyes on this. This is going to continue to help these companies. I know Pfizer's working on one too. It's part of my playbook for that reason, but also keep your eyes on different names, of course, NVO, different names out there that could be moving off of this. The weight loss drugs is a whole nother conversation if it's good for society. I'm not going to get into that conversation here, but I can tell you this is good for Eli Lilly, and it's getting a nice little lift. All right, guys, the last one here is another one that I it just blows my mind, Boeing. It blows my mind. I have no idea how this company is staying alive here, guys. I know that I say bad and negative things towards Boeing, but they just do it to themselves, right? Because look at this headline. And finally, Boeing has paused flights for its 777X, of course, the expanded body 777, right? And now we're taking a look at this. They discovered damage to a part between the engine and the airplane structure. Not a good sign, right? The company, of course, has grounded 3 other test planes and is currently replacing the faulty part. So if it was just one faulty part, why is there 3 planes that got grounded? You're telling me, guys, that this is the type of planes that we want, guys? The type of planes that keep having issues? It's blowing my mind that the FAA has not come in here and hit Boeing even harder, because the truth is their safety issues are out of proportion and they do not have control on this safety issue. This could potentially, of course, delay the certification and delivery of the 777X, which is already 5 years behind schedule. And this should also affect those deliveries. So keep your eyes on that, right? I mean, if it starts to affect those deliveries, we all know where Boeing's going. We all know what's happening in space right now with their space. I mean, it's just a situation that I really think that Boeing is in really bad positions. Investing in this company, I don't know how you do it, but hey, to each his own. That's going to do it for our Sunrise Report. Like always, guys, we're here to give you guys the information on what stocks are moving, and so that you guys can stay ahead in the markets. Join us, of course, every single morning as we give you guys these updates and trying to keep you guys informed on your trading day. The idea here for the Sunrise Report is that you get this quick report, so you don't need to be looking at 30 different articles. You can just come here, get this report, and go get your trading started. I'll see you guys, like always, on the live trading action of things. Let's get it started today and see what's going on in my trade. I'm down a little bit here. I'm trying to manage this one, find out what I'm getting into. Let's get to the action. Let's go, guys. Kick it off. Let's go. It's time for live trading.
Wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at. What up out there, traders? Good morning to you guys. Let's get it started. Let's take a look in the trading action and see what we can come up with today. Of course, trade the pool. Really excited to kick it off, guys. And this is one of those days where it's going to be a battle. I'll tell you right? Let's kick it off with the situation that I'm in right now. And it's one of those managing situations where I'm down big, guys. I'm down on TGL. And I'll explain this trade, right? That's what it's always about, guys. And you guys know I'm fully transparent, guys. A lot of people would probably try to hide this position and maybe not show you it. But hey, guys, I'm always going to tell you guys when I get caught like this, with my pants down. That's how I feel like it right now. And you guys can see it. I was adding all through this situation here on TGL when it was on a little bit of a pullback from the $2 pop. Right? I saw it fail that $2 pop, and I was thinking, okay, on a pullback towards 180s and 170s, this looks good. So I'm going to get a starter here at the 192. I went way too big on the first entry. That was 300. Should have kept pattern, right? And if anything, I've been trying to keep it down in the pre-market. So where a stock can really break out and it could give me the gain, but if it just kind of stays within the range, it's not going to be so much on the negative side. This is not the way that I wanted to keep doing things, right? So I've been doing it pretty well in the pre-market. This is a mistake. Why? Because I'm too big, too fast, right? I talked about how I don't mind getting big, but I want to get big when I'm in the green, not big when I'm in the red, right? That's just clear, trying to stay safe, trying to cut the losers and gain to the winners, right? So at this point, when I started to gain, I think these first shares were not bad. Even this 162 ad was not bad. But when it came back here and it started going back towards the 190, this is when I made the mistake. I went and added 2 more 100 shares that I really didn't want to get filled. I just put out the limits to try to put a little bit of bid support. And the next thing you know, it was right there at 191. It even had an offer of it's kind of going up there towards like the 196 and could have taken the $2 right then and there. I should have limited my size and if anything downsize and made sure that if it went back to the 170, I got out. That's where I made the mistake here. I did not get out when it came back to this 170. Watched it come down towards this 150. And then now I'm in this stuck range, right? Where I'm in way above the stock. The stock's going sideways near my price levels, but at the same time can always take out support here. And the next thing you know, I get caught big on the red side. Of course, I've been trying to keep my losses towards more that 100 to 200 range, max on the 200 side. And right here, we're at that 200 spot. I've been down a little bit more, even closer towards 300 on this name. So that goes and tells me, hey, Mitch, you're not doing it right on this trade. You got to manage it, stay focused. But like always, we're going to learn from this mistake and try to improve. And I say this all the time, guys. At the end of the day, if you're not making improvements or at least trying to make some true analysis of how you're trading and really taking a look at, hey, what's the better way to go about this? How can I do this and repeat? Well, that's how we make improvements. A lot of traders, what do? They get frustrated here and they don't even look at this trade later in the day. Well, I've already made the assessment. I understand where I made the mistake and how I can make improvements. Let's keep it going. We'll take a look around the market today. I'm not going to stress too much about this. I'm just going to keep it battling. Right now, I'm trying to hold off the 145 as we started to recover that 145. So let's say like 143. I cut out and I take the big hit. Now, could I cut out here at the 153? Yes. Another thing that I can do is if I get back closer towards my entry, let's say around 175, 170, I could take out majority of the size to manage the risk. And so I've done this before. So on that first pop where I came back to the 190, that's where I should have gone down and sized down to manage the risk, guys. And then when I start to get the nice breakout, let's say through $2, that's where I should have been adding the big sizing. So that's the way I mean by waiting till I get into that nice deep green position before I take the swing. We'll see what happens here, guys. TGL. And of course, guys, throw up tickers that you guys are watching this morning. What are you guys taking a look at? That's going to do it for at least my morning trading outlook, at least from the trades that I've already made. Now let's go take a look to see what we can find in the market today. There's always more trades out there, guys. So let's keep it going and find some more trades out there, guys. What's going on, traders? What are we looking at this morning? It's good to see you guys. Great Scott is back. It's good to see you, Great Scott. I haven't seen you made too many comments in the chat, so it's definitely great to see you, man. Nando, what's up out there, man? Stocks on my list this week. AMD, IWM, Google, Microsoft. Not bad ones to look at. PanW, AMD. We'll definitely be taking a look at AMD, really good move there. CCL says Jay's Life. Not a bad one to take a look at. We talked about how in the leisure space, you've had seen a little bit of a pop, and that was all the recession concerns going away. But remember, guys, what came out today in Lowell, I'm definitely going to pay attention to that because Lowell is something that is giving us the insight. Home Depot also, but we're just not paying attention to it. What I think is that recession concerns are going to go away for some period, and they'll be back. Trust me, I have this feeling they're going to be back. Maybe it's when we start to get the rate cuts and things like that. But for right now, it's not that big of a concern, even though the companies are mentioning it. All right, let's keep it going. What's up out there? Potato. Good morning to you, man. Hot potato, hot potato. This is how it is with these penny stocks. They're hot potatoes. And sometimes you just got to pass it on to the next guy. Be like, hot potato, here you go, guys. Take it, because I don't want it. We'll see what happens out there, guys. What if it doesn't make it to 1800 on my eval, and then can it expire with 700? Do I get 50-50 or no? Wally, I don't know exactly your question there. I know that you tried to give a question there about the eval, and if you don't make it, well, I'll tell you what. I definitely would reach out to customer service before it expires. Talk to them so that you can get your understanding of what your options are, right? You always need to know what your options are. The same way a trader needs to know, right? So reach out to our customer service, let them know this is the situation you're going through. And if for some reason you're having issues with customer service, reach out to me. I'll definitely make sure that you get somebody to help you. We also got the Discord. If you don't use our Discord, I would definitely recommend to have it for situations like this, where you have a question that can easily be answered in that Discord. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at the other action, DAL, maybe for on the swing account. Love to hear the swing trades, guys. Keep mentioning swing trades. I think it's so important, guys, because there are traders that are doing swing trading, and there's plenty of trades to make big money on that. I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys a little insight into my swing trading. Let's go take a little peek into the swing trading action. All right, let's go to the swing trading action. You guys let me know if TGL makes any type of move, because I'm going to go focus on the other account. You know how that goes. All right, guys, so here is the other account, guys, and you guys can see it here. This morning, I'm only down on one of these positions. I got 4 or 5 on right now, 5 including the other one that's in the other account. But now I'm looking pretty good in different names, guys. I do like to take a different type of trade approach on certain ones. Best Buy is one that I recently just opened, looking to see if this can make a push back through the 86, guys. So this is more of an outlook on a longer term based on what's going on, right? Are we going into recession concerns, or do we get a nice little lift in these retailers? I could see this lifting off towards the 90, right? Going to the 86 and the 89s. So that's why I'm taking a shot in this one. I got to keep it really tight in this one. We'll see what happens there in Best Buy. There's other names that really interest me too. So I'm already out of buying power in this account. This just shows me more and more I need a bigger swing trade account. The swing trading account, I think it's so important to me, and I need to learn how to do this more and more, guys. I'm going to be taking more and more swing trades here. Let me know if you guys appreciate or like swing trade, because I need to know this, because at the end of the day, I do the stream for you guys a lot of the times, right? I could just hide this and just kind of swing trade on my own, and trust me, do a lot better if I did that. But the truth is, I like to show you guys how I approach the swing trading game and how you guys can be learning it. So smash the like for that. Let's keep it going. And let's take a look a little bit at some other ones, right? Best Buy is my only red one. Let's take a look at the good ones, right? Let's look at Caterpillar. Looking at this thing, and it just looks primed to go. It needs to break through 350 and make a run to 360. Once I get that move, I would have a big position in the green. So I have 20 shares of CAT. That's all I need of CAT. I really don't need too much, because the move is like 360s, 370s, and maybe could even run to 400. So that's $50 higher. Even with 20 shares, it's going to be a monster position. So I think at this point, I need to do what? I need to just continue to watch it, make sure that it doesn't break the 9 EMA. Right now, the 9 EMA is right below it at that 340.80s. I'm at 342.80s, right? So that's a risk in about what? Maybe $60 there, right? So keeping an eye on that, looking for the push there towards the 360. And Deere will give me the insight, guys. Deere will be the insight giver, right? Because it's the leader in the space. So I want to see what happens here. If this can take 400, if Deere can be up there at that 400, I think we get the run in CAT. And we also could get the run in Picard, which was on the list yesterday on, of course, the playbook. And you can see how this is already starting to curve around the 9 EMA. Let's see if it makes a run to 100 today and starts to really get going. XLU. You guys know how long I've been in the XLU? It's been a long time, guys. It's been so long on this thing, man. I got in this thing at 73.32, and that was on the first little push, guys. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks now, and I'm just holding in. It's at the 75 resistance. I'm looking for the breakout through 76 today. If it gets to that 76, I can start taking the profits and running. I won't be mad about that. As we get closer to $300 profit, that's what I'm looking for in this one, as that's not a bad gain at all. Up about 166 on this one, and we'll keep it going. One that I opened yesterday is Planet Labs. Talked about this one, guys, and how I'm looking for the push towards 3. It got there this morning at 8:30. We were at 299. Out the gates, I'm looking for a run through 3. I have the order to sell right now at 305. I wouldn't give you this insight if I wasn't trying to give you guys everything, right? But the truth is, I give it to you guys. So we'll see what happens there in Planet Labs. I opened this yesterday at 258. I never even got 1 cent in the red. That's how you know when you're in a good position. When you don't get a single cent in the red, that can give you a little bit of conviction. We'll see what happens there. All right. Let's go ahead, guys. RR has been a good swing. Yeah, man. Rich Tech Robotics started to move back up. Can Serve wake up with that? I don't know, man. I'll tell you one thing. Serve isn't completely done. So I'd keep a watch on this. If Serve could get back into the 13 handle, 14, I wouldn't mind keeping a watch on it, guys. We'll see what happens out there. Cat already lifting in the pre-market, at least getting a little push there. Can it go back through that 348 and 350? We'll definitely keep a watch out there. You can see it there, guys. Not looking too bad this morning on the net P&L. I'll keep working these swings and see what I can make it. Is this account funded and live? No, this is not account. This is not funded and live. This is the eval that you're seeing here, Chris. I always mention it. I always will tell you it. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is out there. Let's go. Making that money. Swing accounts looking good. Now this ain't looking good. Not looking bueno here, guys. Let's go back to it here. TGL might stop me out here, guys. The 1 hour support, I will say, is at the 132. So if it goes down to that spot, it doesn't mean it's completely done, but it does mean that it's washing out for the short term being. We'll see what happens here. Definitely could get caught here. And I'm just looking at this kind of symmetrical triangle support around the 145, but really quickly could be letting go here. All right, it's 9:06. We'll keep it battling, guys. Another major mover on the day is TTNP. This one was moving all around, but the only thing that problem with TTNP and why I didn't get long it earlier, and of course, it's not making a big move, but I'll always tell you guys that when I was thinking about getting long one, I was thinking about getting long this thing around 10. And the problem that stopped me on TTNP was that it just seemed like the spread was just too wide. It was about 30, 40 cents. I didn't want to get after that, and I'm glad I didn't. Now the spread's a little tightened as it starts to really kind of hit those downside action moves. We'll see what happens towards the bell. This one could still run towards 12. It's going to be moving all over the place, but the only thing that I have to say is watch out for that big spread. All right, let's keep going. Tesla, a good swing. Not bad swings at all, guys. I hope you guys were nailing that. Tesla has been doing pretty well. We'll see what happens with it now. Towards 225 and 226. With the mention of the EU, that should help it. It definitely won't hurt it, right? Definitely, Tesla's been making its way back. We can keep watching to see what happens. I'm actually going to go ahead and erase all lines. Even though I was able to catch that big run, I don't need to worry about that anymore. Now it's time to take a reassessment of Tesla, right? And I think a lot of the times, like one of the things you need to do is take a look a little bit deeper in the time frame, right? The monthly chart, right? So here's the monthly chart. You can see how we kind of had that below breakout that kind of failed, right? But we're trying to recover that 250 spot. Right, so 250 is going to be a big spot. When Tesla recovers 250, I think it gets eventually 300. But right now, it's gone to that 227, just started to pull back. So at that point, I can start taking a look to see where can I get entries. At this point, I think you're kind of battling. You're trying to get through a trend line. You're trying to break out. Now the question is, do you fail here or you continue to make the move? This is that trend line that I would definitely watch for moves back to today to see if it holds. So a move back towards 220s and seeing if that holds will be an important outlook towards the bell. So let's see if maybe you get this quick move down towards the support around the 219.50s. So 219, 220 area, and then starts to work back later in the day. We'll see if it goes red to green during the open. Definitely something to keep a watch out for. All right, let's keep it going, guys. What other ones you guys watching? If you guys got a stock you guys want to talk about, throw it up in the chat. Let's take a look at PanW. PanW continuing here, 352 available to it. Let's see how this is affecting CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike up towards 270 this morning and really has started to climb back. I mean, this thing was down towards 200, now back to 268. It's about a 35% move back there for CrowdStrike. Hey, that's how it goes, guys. It goes down, and just like that, it's right back up. What's up with Snow? Snow is right back up there, right where it was, right? Where it's been trying to make the move back through 150. It's back at 130. There's still room to get towards that 150. I'd keep the Snow on the watch. Zscaler, definitely back up there towards 200. So this one will be one to watch with PanW to see if it can keep running, but not a bad move at all here. And there's other names you can watch in this space. We'll see what happens there and how the action happens. TGL finally giving me a little pop. And I'm going to say little because it's little. 15-minute chart finally turning a little bit green. I need this to run to 180 here on this 15-minute candle to really show me that, hey, yeah, we want to come back. We want to take two. Let's find out, guys. Let's find out. All right, big level is going to be when it gets to the 172 because you're running into a trend line around the 164, 165, and then I want to see if they take 170. Once they take 170, it can start to really start driving back. We'll see what happens on this one. Can it get there, guys? Can I manage this one? That's what I'm trying to do here, guys. Just trying to manage it, right? This doesn't need to be a big win for me. This needs to be more of a management. Brandon, I appreciate you rushing to tell me about TGL. I love it. Brandon rushing. It's good to see you out there. It's always good to see some new faces, man. Chris, Brandon, you guys stick around. Let me know what stock's on your radar today. We'll take a look. Let's do an assessment. All right, let's take a look at what else is moving in the markets today. We can go towards the overall market. We could take a look at technology. We could go towards the SPY right now, which is pulling back. I mean, guys, 8 straight days. At some point, it's going to be a wicked turn. So keep that in mind. Keep trying to take profits into the moves. That's the way I see it. And that's the way any technical analysis would see it. Because if it breaks the short-term moving averages, that's when you're going to start seeing that downside come in. We'll see what happens. The trend traders are riding the trend higher. Will the trend break? That's what we need to look for. That's what we're going to see here. We're close back towards right where we fell off from, right? So we just quickly went down there. Well, we're quickly right back up. So will we reject this area? That's 564, right? Or will we just make a new high? That could be also happen. One thing's for certain. If they say there's no such thing as V bottoms, please, and I did this right when we actually did this first like kind of assessment, right? The V bottoms always happen on the market. I don't care what anyone says. The books themselves, technical analysis books that I have tons of them, right? Say that there's no such thing as a V bottom. You know what I say to that? Because the truth is, they lying, man. Take a look at that. I want all investors in the long run to understand that, because in the long run, this was a great buying opportunity in the long term. Now, of course, you never know it when you're doing it, but V bottoms are the way that the market works a lot of the times. I saw it in the pandemic. I saw it during the bear market. I saw it just recently when it was in May. I saw it now in August. I mean, it happens all the time, guys. And a lot of times they're quick V bottoms. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get after it, guys. Shane, big loss already today. Back in the sim to practice. Going to stop trading pre-market as struggle with spreads and no stops. Yes, Shane. One thing that I noted, right? I think, and you can think about it too, Shane, and maybe test this, right? Because I was doing really well in the pre-market, but it's when I go big that I struggle in the pre-market. If I can stay small and let that small win turn into a big win, like a nice $150 cushion for like 150 shares, well, you can't be mad about that, right? And so I think that that's one thing that I would note, especially for the smaller names and the big movers. So the big movers, a lot of times, they're going to do what? They're going to move big if we got it right? So we don't need to have the big sizing. I think that that's where a lot of the times traders go wrong. But I do this mistake myself. You guys see me have the mistake open right now as I speak, right? I call it how I see it, man. And the truth is that, yeah, sizing down in this situation, if this was 150 shares in TGL, I wouldn't even stress it at all. I wouldn't stress it at all. But the truth is, too big, too fast, and that's where we get caught. Shane, same Mitch, was using the same size in the pre-market as regular trading hours. Yes, got smoked in small caps that were all gapping. 100%, Shane. And we can learn from this, man. Let's learn from this. Smaller in the pre-market to the market hours, right? And to tell you the truth, I think we need to keep the data, right? How are we doing in the pre-market? How are we doing in the regular trading session? And also time data. How do I do between 9 and 10 a.m.? How do I do between 10 and 11 a.m.? And how do I do at maybe, let's say, 6 to 7 a.m., 7 to 8, 8 to 9, all those hours? We need to be keeping track. Data is what's going to tell us, Shane. I'm telling you, we got to do the hard work. Unfortunately, that's what it takes. It takes you doing the hard work of understanding the data to then finding what you out there are good at. Yes, I'm talking to you. Find what you're good at, man. You want to get better? Do that. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is moving out there. And I wish you the best, Shane. I know how it is, man. It's not easy. I'll tell you what, I'm in the battle with you, man. All right, let's keep going. Tim coming in here, bringing in a good conversation. I even had yesterday a position and realized I wasn't feeling 100% and juggling some other work. I didn't overtrade and trusted that analysis, made money when I surely would have blown up. And it happens, man. It happens tons of times, right? I think what we need to always think about, right, is that the truth is we're not trying to let one trade make or break us. In a situation like TGL, I was letting this trade try to be a bigger trade than I needed it to be. And that's where a lot of traders make the mistake. We need to stay within our lane, right? And the situation here when Tim's saying juggling some other work, understand when you're doing that, you need to be even smaller. I do this also, right? I'm trying to create the sunrise report. I'm creating the playbook for you guys. I'm looking around the market, searching news, looking at different areas, different charts than my trading screen. And a lot of times I look back and I'm like, man, this is starting to move a little too fast for me and I'm not paying attention to it. So I got to be smart and I can't set stops in the pre-market. What I got to do is just be small and let that trade, that small trade, maybe go a big move into the open and then maybe taking some profits and letting a little piece run. Because the truth is the smallest piece can make you a lot if you get a big runner, right? So sometimes we have 300% gainers in the open market, right? You don't need 1,000 shares. This is where I feel like a lot of traders get it twisted. They feel they need that 1,000 shares because they've seen the Lamborghini trader trade with that 1,000 shares and get it back, right? Well, the truth is, if you even have, let's say, 200 shares and the stock goes $6 higher, trust me, you're not going to be mad with that $1,200, and you're going to be a lot happier than have traded, let's say, 1,000 shares and then gotten stopped out because it went 10 cents lower. All right, guys, let's keep it going. Let's keep battling. And there's no one way. There's no right answer or wrong answer. The key is how do you trade and how you want to execute your system. TGL is moving, guys. Let's take a look at that. It's starting to move back here, guys. So now it's time to get into management mode and really focus in and see what I got here. So on the 15-minute chart, it's still looking really nice, right? On the 15-minute chart, now we have this pattern, right? So we can clearly see a trend line down to here. You broke out of that trend line. So that's going to be the kind of the risk right now. Shouldn't really break back through this level here. So I could see pullbacks to this level, but I wouldn't want to see it break through that level. That's going to be the 157, but that's ways away from here, right? What I'm really looking to see if we could recover this resistance, the 192 resistance, right? There's a 189, 192, whichever way you want to kind of draw it. It's about the 189 spot. That's going to be the big recovery for the next push, the push for the big breakout. The breakout's towards 239 and that 250 spot. So I'm watching it here, guys, to see if we can break above that 189. If we do break through that 189, or that 185, I can start to size down. I would size down, let's say taking half of this off, just to make sure that I'm doing what? In management mode. And that's a big important thing for me. Don't need to take the big swing, man. I don't need to be that big. Let's go ahead and manage here. All right, guys, once it gets back into the 180s here, and it's hit there 179. So I'm looking for the 180s to show up there so that I can size down and manage the risk. We'll see what happens here. Small size and letting it play throughout the day. 100%. Sometimes we get stopped out and we look back at our trade and realize if we would have been small, we could have let it work. We could have let that volatility actually worked out. And then all of a sudden the up move happened. I'll give you guys a perfect example. Tim is making a mention in the chat about a perfect example, his example, right? But I can tell you guys my example yesterday. VKTX. VKTX stopped me out, right? At around like 11 something. But take a look at this trade and how it traded. So I'm going to go to the 5 minute just to kind of show the action right quick. But look at this, guys. This stock was trading really close, right? Around, let's say 10 or 11. And then I was looking to grab this thing. It ended up pulling back a little bit further. It's stopping me out, right? But if I would have gave it a chance to actually hold that 56 support, look how it came back out off of that 56 and then broke out all the way to 63. I mean, it was a big breakout, eventually going all the way towards 68. So big breakout there in VKTX. And a lot of that was what? I just didn't let the trade get through the volatility. Take a look at this trend line. Take a look how it held it to a key. It was a beauty one yesterday. Recovered that spot. And now we can take a look for the next breakout above 70. We'll see what happens there, guys, on VKTX and other names. All right, let's go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA, of course, up there towards 128, continuing to climb. Softy at 421. Google, one that I've been looking at to see if it get hot. Yesterday, continued to 170. Can it get through that 170? Keep pushing up higher. Apple, will this one just take off? I have a feeling that Apple might make a new high pretty soon, guys. So keep your eyes on that one. There's one stock I think could make another push. I think it's Apple before the end of the year. But that's just my outlook on the bigger name. GovX already back down to $5, and that's how it goes for GovX, guys. Yesterday, it struggled, and then later in the day, it just dropped like a tank. It's down close to 100% already. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but that's just how it goes, guys. From the high, now where we're trading it, it's down 50%, right? But if you look at it, this stock came from $3. It went all the way up there to 11, back down. We'll see what happens to this bad boy today. All right, TGL did break above the trend line, now starting to come back to the trend line, and we'll see if it holds that. I'll take a look at that action. I'll show you guys that. Right there's a trend line, right? Will it come back and hold that trend line? Let's go to the 5 minute, and I'll show you a little bit closer so you guys can see that action. And here's that pullback layer coming back, trying to hold the throwback look and then make the run. We'll find out, guys. This is going to be one that I could either just take it off right here and just take the L. We'll see what happens, guys. It's definitely a battle right now on this TGL. We did get a good amount of size and volume to come in on that recent push. So I'm just looking to see if this 160 can hold now. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what other ones are out there. Keep it going, guys, in the chat. TTNP. We'll see if that one comes up today. It was a big mover early. AUUD. I saw this one pull back, guys. This one's an interesting one. We'll see if it starts to make a push back through $2. Definitely a smaller name, but hey, you got your potential there. Let's take a look at some other action in the market, right? XLU, of course, utilities. I'll look for those to keep going higher. Duke is one way to play this. Excel is one way to play this. Southern Company is one way to play this. Excel is one that I had actually put on the playbook a while ago, and now this is starting to get going towards the 62s. Could keep going higher. Of course, utilities doing pretty well. Keep your eyes on that action. Saunders, it was just up there, pulling back there. This was a lodging company. Look to see if it makes another run today. But boy, oh boy, this thing actually ran yesterday. And to tell you the truth, I don't think it survives in the long run. I really don't think it survives in the long run. But we'll see what happens on that. Companies like this, I always feel like, man, they're just a short in the long run. Look at Nikola. Remember when Nikola was here and then Tesla started to decline? It's back to 7. Could drop through 7 and keep going down back to $1, baby. We'll see what happens on that Nikola. What happened to Zap? Zap just been slowly on that downtrend. That's how it goes sometimes. All right, looking around, guys, trying to take a look at some of the bigger names. What are those stocks that are moving? Let's take a look at that. All right, taking a look, of course, Hawaii Airlines is going to be one that's making the move. Hawaiian Airlines is up there towards 1770s. We'll look to see if this affects other airlines. Other airlines have been bouncing a little bit after recently looking really bad, right? UAL, DAL, they've gotten a little bounce. The question is, will they get a really big bounce? I don't know, man. Leisure is one to watch, right? We'll see what happens in Carnival Cruise Line, NCLH. Will those kind of get the lift? Ulta. Let's go to Ulta here. Ulta, of course, has been one that's been giving the lift in specialty retail and an outlook after Warren Buffett kind of made that investment, right? We'll see what happens with that. But taking a look out there to see what happens in different names. Lulu, yesterday. Lulu actually stopped me out, guys. It didn't give me a big game. It gave me a really small gain yesterday. But that doesn't mean that I can't trade it today. It was a good trade yesterday. It started to move up and just didn't make the breakout move. Let's see if we get that breakout move today, right? That's going to be a move through 262, going back through that 263. Yesterday, I was just hanging out in Lulu pretty much all day. And then eventually stopped me out on this pullback. But it was right towards the 4 o'clock time, right? So I got out right towards that time on the auto out. We'll see what happens on Lulu if they could take the 263 and start to make a move. Evoke, I'm seeing out there a name that's kind of getting the lift just recently. Let's see what happens here. Just saw a recent push there that got there in 8:15. This got it to $14. What the heck happened to this one, man? This thing was an absolute rocket up there. It was on low volume, so keep that in mind. But boy, oh boy, did this stock rocket when it made the move. We'll see what happens there. All right, I love oil in the chat, says Wisdom. Not a bad one. PayPal. PayPal monthly chart. Let's take a look here. It doesn't look too bad. Definitely you're getting some investors in this. It looks to me like you got some investors near the 60. So if you're looking at that outlook, I can't blame you. The next layer you want to take is 76. So somewhere between this, I think you start to get some more sideways action where you could get the push back to 76, a pull back to 70. I don't like PayPal in the long run, the story overall, but the chart is telling us something. So kind of keep watch to see if that can keep moving. And if PayPal gets moving, Block will get moving with it, man. They move side by side, right? You can see how this is sideways also. Look to see if Block or PayPal leads, and then others would follow. They also trade similar to like the Visa and MasterCard, just not as good close correlation, but something also to keep watch is MasterCard and PayPal as these stocks start to get the lift. All right, TGL is really getting close to stopping me out here around the 155, guys. It's right back towards the trend line and did not catch the love around the 160. So right now it's really close to getting me out. I just want to give you guys the insight there. Maybe could have cut it out at the 150, but hey, we'll see what happens there. Zing is showing up on the scanners, guys. And of course, this one did a kind of inside day yesterday. So look to see if it takes the day 2 type of move. Definitely one on the radar today, guys. This thing made it all the way up there towards $20. So I would keep this one on watch, see what happens. If it can start to come back there towards, let's say, 11 and 12s, I'll keep that one on the radar, especially today, on a day like today, where you've gotten this inside day. Now you can really start to push back. Big layer to watch is the 1145 going back to the 12, and you'll still have room even if this stock gets a first push and you don't catch that first run, right? This stock has a lot of room to make a move. All right, let's keep going. USO, let's take a look how oil's been moving. Oil's starting to move back to the upside. I'm watching XLE on that to see if we get the lift there through the 91.50s towards the 92. You can take a look at XOM, right? You just keep it simple. You can take a look at ExxonMobil. A lot of resistance in this spot, this 120. Do we take it today? Do we see reversal off the lows from Chevron? Oxy, those are on the lows right now. Those aren't on the up move. So if you're looking for one that's weak that could get stronger, are those names. The leader would be ExxonMobil, right? We'll see what happens here, guys. Definitely getting the takedown now in TGL. Got to go ahead and just go protecting my position here. But definitely taking a look at it towards the bell here. It's going to be a really close one, guys. We got 1 minute left here. Could definitely stop me out the gates, guys. I'm going to take my shot on this one. I got to just keep battling this one. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it turns out, right? There's no guarantees in any trading. It just won't happen, guys. All right, we'll see what happens towards the bell. I am seeing the bell like kind of, we've been on this decline since pretty much 8 a.m., 8:15, just on this quick little decline. We'll see what happens towards the bell if we do actually get a red day today. If we do get a red day, AMD's on my target for the short. So if I'm looking at what I would like to short, AMD is definitely in that space. I'd look to see if they hit it right back through the 156 going towards the 150. Tesla, also one to keep an eye out for. We'll see what happens. It got a good mention today. Will it actually take a down hit on this? We'll see it. There's the bell, guys. I need to go protect TGL. You guys stay safe out there. Get after it, team, and see what we can come up with today, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
It's time!
All right, team. Get after it, guys. Stay safe out there, traders. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, let me know if you guys see any stock making a big move here. TGL is going to be my first watch there. Now it's starting to recover that 150s. So it's time to start taking moves, guys. Start taking shots here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep a watch on this. As we covered the 160s, I'm thinking about taking a shot and kind of adding size here. But let's go ahead. Let's wait for this one to try to make a move towards 180. First want to see that 180. Then I want to really take a shot there. Let's see it. 160s now coming back here. Let's see if it takes it. 158, big sizing at 158. Did that go through? Yes, it did. It was a sell at 158, guys. Not what I wanted to see there, but let's see if it actually causes this to go through 165 and 170 as that big sizing went through there on the sell side of things. And you can see it at the bottom right here on my screen. That's that purple orders on this time in sale. I mean, big orders, baby. All right, on the 1 minute now, looking for the 9 EMA to recover. There's that 9 EMA recovery towards the 170. Let's see if this really starts to get going. 190 is the big level to watch for the breakout back through 2. Let's see it, guys. Let's see it. $170 is showing up on the offer just for a second there. I'm seeing the SPY rip right back up. PETA with a little bit of a lift there. I talked about that smaller name, so I'll keep a watch on that. I'm seeing PL, Planet Labs, back to 280s. Not what I wanted to see there, so I'll keep watch on that. I'm seeing that take a little bit of a downturn. Of course, that's in my swing account, so I got to keep a watch on that as that's pulling back there towards the 278. Here's the 173 now for TGL. Let's see if we can take the 180s, really get right back into that spot. Then I can go ahead and manage, right? You can bring the size down especially and just look for the breakout back through the 190s. And yes, if I size down and for some reason it breaks out, I'll feel a little bit off. But it's always about protection for me, not about something else, right? It's always protection first. All right, guys, let's take a look around. What are you guys seeing out there? Let's keep it going, guys. It is on the halt right now. 174. Will it open? We're gonna have to wait and find out, guys. 5 minutes from now, we'll know. So let's go looking elsewhere. Let's see if we can maybe take another trade out there. TTNP coming back, and I think this is definitely one to watch today. It was moving pretty fast in the pre-market. So let's see if this one wants to take back towards the high, which is 12, right? I mean, that's a big run. We'll see what happens on this TTNP. Zing is also going to be on the watch today. We'll see what happens on Zing. Can that get going? Let's go ahead and put up some of the scanners here. Opening range momentum is one that I want to have up there. Opening range momentum and then unusual volume. Unusual volume is telling me BTBT. So Clean Spark is one that I'm watching at. That's pulling back right now. Maybe I can get an opportunity to buy Clean Spark back towards 12 or underneath 12 here towards the 1175s. BTBT, how's that doing? Look at that push towards 375. So Bit Digital, Bitcoin maybe making a little bit of a lift today. We'll keep a watch on that to see how it pushes. TLS. Another one trying to break the 350 spot. Big level to watch here now that it's starting to get towards that 350s. Let's see if it takes that level. Software infrastructure name. Had about 100,000 shares. Could take that 350. NNE, of course, the nuclear energy stock that we were talked about in the pre-market on Sunrise Report. Why did we talk about this one? Because Trump stepping up and taking a big thing. Big outlook on this, on nuclear energy overall. SMR is another one that could make a lift on this. So keep these ones on the radar, especially in the next couple of days. I'm going to have an alert set there for like 980, 983s, 985s there for SMR. If that does make the move, I want to keep watch on that. Pan W right up out the gates, guys. So that tells me look at Zscaler, maybe see if it breaks 198 here, 197 available to it. We'll see what happens on that. Snow, talked about how that could get the lift off that Pan W number. Look at that. Nice little pullback to 131.50s, right back up to 133, 134s. This is one of those trades that just made sense. I'm stuck in this TGL, but definitely this trade just made sense in Snow. So die Boeing, I feel like it should die, but there it goes. Now it's taking the hit. This looks like a nice one to start getting after. It could go down to 170, 160 and keep going down. Boeing, man, get your act together, man. Nice little fade opportunity where it went to 175, gave you that 176 rejection. It could maybe just reject that again and go to 176 here, 176.50s, and then really kind of take down that 174. So I'm keeping that on the radar here. All right, we still got about 5 minutes left. How many we got here? 9:30 we got halted at. Pretty much 9:31, I think, on TGL. Just keeping an eye on TGL. We've had about 4 minutes. We got about 1 minute left towards it reopens here. We're on the 9:36 time. All right, taking a look. AS going on the downside of things. This was a sports company that had some numbers today. Hey, it's not doing that great there. We'll see what happens. ASO also pulling back on that, but it could get a lift off of that if it starts to catch a bid. Of course, specialty retail, and we've known how that outlook has been. Of course, that's going to be your kind of Ulta outlook, your Pan W, not your Pan W, your Lulu. How's Lulu doing? Pulling back out the gates, right off the support. Now let's see if it goes towards 262. AUUD. This one looked good off the 156, back up towards the 183. Definitely have the potential to get that move back towards 250s. 179, nice volume coming in on this now towards the 180. Could just run here towards the $2 or pull back to the 160s. Now you know your levels on this AUUD. We'll see if this one takes this next step and goes through 2. PETA pulling back after a nice little push. This one getting up there in the pre-market to 550s. Now pulling back, giving you an opportunity here off this support, this 308. But can it really get going? I think it needs to get through 4 to really start to show me that it really wants to make a run. But that's going to be ways away from here, right? We'll see what happens. TGL should be opening up any second here. There we get the open. Now we're back towards 180 here. And really quickly, there's 185s. I'm looking at the bid here to try to take some out. All right, guys, I just took some out at the 188 just to make sure I manage this now, right? Now I can go ahead and set a maximum risk here towards the 160, making sure no matter what, if I lose 87 on this, I lose 187, I'm fine with that. But if it holds here and keeps going, yeah, it did hold there. I'm glad I got some out. I'm glad I got some out, guys. So there you guys have it. Doing the dance, man. The dance. What's Nancy doing today? Oh, man, I have no idea, Wisdom. Let me know, man. All right, let's keep going. Let's go. Lunar holding VWAP so far. Great, Scott. Appreciate you. All right, let's take a look there, guys. I was able to manage that, get out of some of that TGL with a win on that 350 shares. So now I at least managed it. Now I can go trading elsewhere. Let's go trading elsewhere. Let's take a look here. Nano nuclear energy. Nice little push out the start. Held that VWAP. Made the push to 1350s. Could just keep climbing. SMR is one that I'll be taking a look at as this pulls back off of this. Actually going against the NNE. That's interesting. All right, let's take a look there. AUUD got up there to the 185 and failed there. So that was a fail there at the 185 there. Back to the 160s here. TTNP though, that's a rip there, guys. That moved pretty fast there. Got out of the halt there. Now at the 1025s, pushed off the 9. Really could get going here. There's the VWAP. Now it's rejecting VWAP a little bit. That was at 1050s. Look to see if it takes 1050s. TTNP. Q's coming back there. I do see that. Let me go manage my swing trades here, guys. This is the hard part. A lot of times when you're doing day trading and swing trading, you have to go ahead and do what? Manage swings, guys. Manage swings. So best buy right now, a little bit down there for me. I got to go ahead and set the stop here. So going to go ahead and set the stop, make sure that I'm ready for any downside action to get out. All right, so I'm going to set this at 84. So I can lose maximum about $100 on this, but definitely don't want it to get back down to that spot. But at the same time, always managing it, right? That's what's important. So PL was another one. Planet Labs back down to the 270s. Really shouldn't break that 270s on the pullback. On the hourly, I could see this resistance around here, the 260s. Then the next layer was 270s. I'm looking for that 270s to hold. If at worst comes to worst, 260s, I'm getting out of this name. So I always got to know that and respect that, right? So it's important to always know where you're going to get out. And if you need to, it's okay to take the break even stop out, right? There's nothing wrong with being break even. Right now, I'm setting about a $5 stop out just to protect myself. XLU will look for that move towards the 76 today. Can we get that move? I definitely wouldn't mind to take the money and run there. I have right now 76, and it could get there today. We'll see what happens. It's about 268 at that 76, and I think it could actually get above that, but I got no problem just taking that money and running at that level. Cat fighting the 348s. We'll look to see what if XLI can make a move today. Let's go to the sectors overall. Sectors, healthcare leading. I have basic materials, then utilities. What's in the red? Energy. Financial services finally in the red. Is the XLF finally turning around to the downside? Are we starting to see that weakness in JPM and Goldman Sachs or Goldman sucks? Is it going to cut 500 today? All levels to watch. That's a nice little bounce there. Will it make the up move? I'm keeping a watch on the SPY. SPY is ripping, guys. Almost 560s now. Is it going forward that intraday high? Of course, we talked about it. 564, 84 is still in reach. That's that high before this downturn. Going back to the stocks, right? Let's go back to it. TGL. Let's see what happens when this one opens up. And I definitely want to keep an eye on some of the smaller names, but just watching this as this opens, and then I'll watch some of those other ones. SLRN, big rip there towards 5. If you're looking for a biotech that's moving, that's one of them out there. TTMP just holding off on the VWAP around 11. We'll see what happens on that. BTBT now trying to take the 370s. Clean Spark back towards 12, holding that 12. I like this one on a VWAP recovery today. So going to keep a watch on this one. Doesn't look too bad at all as it's been balancing down here. It's hit 12 twice. So it could be a double bottom there. Now starting to work its way back up on Clean Spark. I'm going to look for one more kind of bottoming action on Clean Spark where it goes to like 1180s and then comes back. TGL now giving me that spike there towards the 2. We're towards the 2 here. Let's go ahead, TGL. Let's see what we can do here. I'm canceling my stop just to try to let this start to work higher. It got to the 220s and slowed down there. So we'll see if we get towards the 220s. Right now, I'm looking for the 240s out or 230 out. I'll take that and run. So as it starts to pop there, I'm going to put an order out there, 230s. I have it out right now, guys. I'm looking for a little spike into the 230s. I'll take that money and run. Let's go. 208, 214. Looking for another push into the highs. The high right now is around the 223 spot. Looking for that push in towards the 230s, and I'll take the money and run there. Just dropped it at the 229, trying to get that money on this push and get out. Yes, if I would have had the 700, it would be double this and probably could take the money and run right there. But that's just how it is. There's the third halt there, guys. I hate being in the third halt. I'll tell you right now, the odds of this going down after the third halt are actually higher than they are in the first halt. So that worries me, as this is going to open up probably pretty high, and then it could just go ahead and get out there, guys. So I already have the target profit out there. I can't even move it. And that's actually a good sign, because since I have that order out there, and I'll show you this, right? I always like to be fully transparent and kind of show you the orders, especially when I have something like this. So you guys can see it right there, right? How I have this order out there. Let's see what happens at this point, right? Because I have the at 229s. We got a nice little spike off of that. Now I need to continue to watch it to see what happens at that level. I'll be fine with taking the 157. We'll see what happens when it reopens. Maybe it reopens at 240s and it just instantly takes the money. We'll see what happens there, guys. Battling today. Let's go, guys. PIDA, one that I'm watching that right now. I kind of like this one, this PIDA. All right, got towards the 370s just recently. Going to take a look at it to see if maybe I can trade it off the 330 spot there. 320s would be 100 shares to start. Just only about like a $20 risk there. Back into the 30s here, looking good. I just wanted to kind of balance out here. I'm keeping a close eye on it here, as it does have like a trend line that it just hit. Could pull back one more time, make another little bottoming here. So I'm watching it here to see what happens. There's PIDA. 344s kind of just chomping around. 350s could just retake and then it starts to go. So just keeping a close eye on it here. Really, the VWAP is up there towards 4. So the one thing I like about this is the hourly level, right? The hourly level is looking pretty good off the 330s. So 330s around the 310s holding really well. Could see that kind of rip off of this level. And it's already kind of pushed off that 310, right? That's where it came back down out the gates, 302, then came back to 309. So can it go one more time to this 320s or 321s, then rip through the 350s, would not be a bad outlook there. We'll see what happens, guys. All right, looking around out there, what's going to make the move here? Clean spark. Did I get another down action move? No, still no down action on that one. Mara, how's that doing? Trying to recover VWAP already. Riot, trying to recover the 815s. Not a bad one to watch on that Riot. Of course, it's been down big. Could start making its way back to 9. TEM, Tempest AI. Really ripping here, guys. This is a move here. It's an AI stock. Big rip there from 58s to 66. Nice move there, 15%. So now I'd be looking for pullbacks, right? This needs a pullback towards the 61. That's a big pullback there. So I could also take a look at other AI names. I'm watching Sound, just mentioning that because it's been building off of 5. Wondering if it ever is going to make a move above 5, but something definitely that I'm looking at. All right, TTNP now heading right back down. So that one's a little bit of a fake out towards the 11. So be careful on that. Zing is hanging out at that's 10. I'm wondering if it's going to recover the VWAP, start making a move towards 11. This is definitely a crazy mover that could make a run today, yesterday, inside day. It's definitely on my watch. And holding in on these 11s. I kind of like it off of this to recover 11. It's not a bad one to watch here today. We'll wait and find out. I'm going to actually set the alert at the 1052, looking for that to make the move. I'll even set the alert right here on Trade the Pool. If you guys don't have these, I definitely can show you that. And we're going to use different order types today, guys. I'm going to show you guys some different order types. That's our lesson today to kind of learn from. We'll see what happens. All right, just set the alert there at the 1034s. I don't want to be getting into this early. I'm really waiting for the 11 break on Zing, and that's going to be an important outlook. RR, Rich Tech. Go get it, baby. Go get it. I see you, Great Scott. I see you, man. GLD that was on the playbook that Mitch didn't play is up there towards 2081s. What about CENX? All right, aluminum player pulled back. Pre-market, it was up there towards 1475. I kind of like this for a bottoming action, then starting to work its way right back to the upside. It really looks interesting. It could get some buyers to really step up here. Support right around this 1425 has hit it already. I kind of like this outlook here as it's holding in right now. I'd like it to hit back towards 1424s, then work its way back to the 1440s, 1450s. Going up to 15 is not a bad outlook on the daily chart. You can see it going back towards 1523s here. We'll see what happens there. CENX. You can also watch Alcoa to see if it wants to leave. That's AA, and that's already having a nice little push out the gates. So I could look to play this one on a pullback towards 3440s or 3420s. Not a bad outlook here on AA. There's TGL. There's the money, guys. It hit immediately. That's what I'm talking about. Can't go wrong when it hits right there. It went to 232. It opened at 228. Just made 2 pennies up and hit me. Took the money and run. That's what I'm talking about. Really good execution after poor execution, and that's how trading goes, guys. When you really execute well, it's going to give you guys an advantage. Today, I managed the loss, was able to cut down the sizing, and yes, if I had 700 shares, this is double the win, 300, but I'm not going to be mad about this. This was all about managing and then taking the money and running. I'm super happy the way it turned out. It's not because it's green, but more along that I did cut the position size. I did go ahead and take the quick gain there. I put out the target profit, was not greedy in saying 240, just taking the 230s, and that's it, man. Just got to take it and run. Got to love it, man. Got to love it. And wisdom, yes. Let's enjoy that enthusiasm, and you guys enjoy it. Let it empower you and focus you that you can always balance and play this game, right? We all got to be able to play this game. We just got to focus in sometimes and worry about the execution side of things. All right, Brandon, get it, baby. 22% on TGL. Hey, can't be mad about that one. Good game, guys. Let's get after it. Now for me, TGL is a no touch. Didn't I talk about it, how after the third halt, the odds are a down halt? Well, look at that, guys. Exactly what you got in TGL. This is why I do not go long off at third halts. I will not do it. If you guys ever see me do that, shut me down. Pull the rug, because I shouldn't be on out there, man. Mitch, is X going to give it to you? Oh, wisdom. You're trying to start something, aren't you? You're trying to start something. Oh, man, I haven't traded steel in a long time. What's up with X? X trying to give it to me. He's trying to give it to me. Oh, man, X took a down hit earlier. Let's see Nucor. Nucor is one that I kind of like there. Maybe Steel Dynamics, STLD. Those are the ones that I like on the long run now. X, it doesn't trade as well anymore. Ever since it got that, buyout mention and things like that, it doesn't trade well anymore. But the Steel Dynamics looks pretty decent today for that 117 push. So this looks to me like a swing trade. Right? So nice bottoming around the 116. You're trying to break back through that 117. You're actually dipping back below that 117, giving you the opportunity to risk off this like kind of 114.78. So to me, this looks more like a swing trade because you're going to have to work out some of this volatility. But you get it close towards 124, and all the steel traders are looking at this. So, hey, not a bad one to watch. X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. First you're gonna stop, then we gonna roll. All right, guys. Q's ripping, guys. Look at that move, man. It said forget the downside in technology. We're going for a rip, baby. AMD to 158. Mitch had it wrong there. I'm never going to make it completely right. I'll tell you one thing, though. I am seeing moving. Redfin, who talked about that these real estate stocks could move today? You know your boy Money Mitch. Let's go look at Open. Open is pushing, guys. I want to scalp this bad boy. Let's try to scalp it here. Of course, it's going to be a little bit harder to trade since it already broke 2. But look at this stock go. Money Mitch, right again. Not a bad little 5% on this thing. I'm looking for a pullback towards 203 and 202 on this. I'm going to put the order out there. If I can get that pullback to 203, 202, I'll definitely go long this. Just need a little pullback. Just give me the slightest pullback underneath the 9 EMA. Zillow could be a way to play this also. So if I wanted to, this is a play right here. So you know what? This seems like the better play, at least for the time being, on the position of where the chart is, right? So that's the way I think about it here. This is just more about positioning on where it is on the chart. 5-minute chart just kind of got a nice little push there. Now it's on the pullback. I'm looking for maybe one more tap to the 56 here, and then it goes higher. So if this candle can go red, it's actually a good thing. It opened at 64, 66, went to 64, now back at 85. Looking to see if maybe we can get a little bit of a downturn, and then that last little bottoming. One bottoming action, 2, 3. Looking for that 4th. Any kind of reversal here will be looking nice there for Zillow. We'll see if this holds and makes a move back to 56.50s. But man, not a bad move there in Redfin. Up there towards 961. Could look for maybe a 9 pullback on this. And could also take a look at like Rocket. How's that moving? There, that one's up also. I found the trend here, guys. Seems like I'm on top of one. Now the question is which way to go after it, right? Is it open? Is it, Rocket? Is it Redfin? Is it open? There's a lot of trade here. The only question is, how do I get after it right now? We'll see what happens. What I'm going to do here on this open is I'm going towards a swing trade account because I'm trying to take a look at that. And I'm thinking, okay, so Best Buy is the one that hasn't really made too big of a move, but it isn't down big, right? It's just slightly right there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually lower down the size on one of these to actually try to play another play, right? So with open, let me see how much I can get right now. See if I even can get any, if I have any buying power for this. Probably go 300 here. I want to go to like the 500 size. And you see, I don't have the buying power right now. I might have to cut the Best Buy because I don't really like, I'm not the craziest about that Best Buy position. It's hard. It's hard to cut a position to try to get some buying power there, but that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to cut it. It's in the red there. I don't feel too comfortable about it. It could still be a nice swing trade. It's only a $24 loss if I cut it right now. I'm going to cut that and use that money to go after this open. So open. I'm going to go ahead and try to get after it here. Let's try to do 200 right now and then look for a little pullback. Still don't even have enough for 200. Come on, man. Running out of buying power here, guys. Might need to talk to my man Michael. Get more buying power. I might need some more buying power on this swing account. The resistance is right around the 205. So pullback starts 205. Actually aren't too bad there. We'll see what happens. I could take about 100 shares of this, but this is still not going to give me that much. Maybe should have stuck into that Best Buy. But hey, I'm going to let it go, guys. I'm going to just have this continue to let this work. The positions that I have in the green, cutting the red small, and I'll look to see what I get into a little bit later in the day. Open is definitely one that I wanted to swing, but hey, if I don't have the buying power, I don't have it, man. I'm just going to let it go. Open coming back towards that 205 is kind of the layer that I could get after. Zillow, how's that doing now? Did we ever get that down move? No, we got an attempted up move there. It's starting to pull back. I'd look for one more downside turn on this and then watch it start to come back. 1, 2, 3. Now come down towards like the breakdown and then really start to get going. We'll see what happens there. Clean Spark, how's that one doing? It's right around the 1230s now, and it is recovering the VWAP. So this has come back there. I was looking for another move towards 1210, and I'll continue to watch that. TGL now at the 183s on the down hold. So definitely off of that TGL. PETA, not a good move there. Just took out that 310, so that's not looking good at all. Sing, not doing much there. We'll see what happens. G-Sun giving me an alert. That's an interesting one. That's an education and training one. You don't see those move often, but just keep your eyes on that. That's a nice move, actually. That's in the same space as this BTCT. So this looks like Bitcoin Digital. We'll see what happens on that. NNE trying to make the move back to that 1350s nuclear energy stock. SMR is actually on the downside action there. What's up out there, traders? What you guys got? Mitch, I know a guy that lives in Mexico that you can sell a kidney and get some buying power. I might need some. I might need some wisdom. All right, Tem. Amazing move. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Tem is an amazing move for sure. It's a big move, guys. Like, this is taking dollar points by like. But the thing about this one though in Tempest is you got about a dollar spread. So keep that in mind, right? So it does tighten down. It looks like by like 33 cents there. But the spread is wide on this bad boy. It's a good run. But to get this, you have to go such low sizing and be able to handle about maybe, let's see the ATR. So the $1.76, if not 2 times this, 2 times the ATR is a good risk of measurement for volatility to give it a little bit of room to move. And that means I'd be risking about what, 350 on this thing is a little bit hard to risk, guys. And the hourly 252. So on an hourly candle, maybe giving it a $2.50 risk. That's a little much for me, guys. The key there is the spread and how this is moving. But it doesn't look bad. It's just very hard to get after that type of spread. SLRN got back above the 5s and continuing to go. This one's just strong and pushing, guys. I don't see this one slowing down right now. I don't want to just play a scalp on this, but it is pretty strong there. Rich Tech, 133s, still continuing to move there. Serve trying to make a little bit of a move. That's why I take a look at that. So if one robotic stock is moving, I can go take a look to see the next robotic stock to see if it makes the move. So right now, Serve just went right below the 12s. Could make another attempt to hit 12 right here, but then really take 1240s and 1250s. It's not a bad one to keep an eye out for. I like the volume too. It's getting a decent amount of volume here. Let's take a look at the level 2 here. Serve is back, open is back towards 206. I could take a shot on that one a little bit later. I'm going to set an alert there for around 203s. That's really the entry there for me. Zillow also, I need to go ahead and set an alert there. Looking for some kind of pullback on Zillow. Taking a look at it here. I gotta fix my my charting here on some of these. All right, Serve. I'm starting to miss Serve because I'm looking at Zillow. Trying to set an alert there for when it comes back to 55.60. It's 64s to let me know when it starts to do that because it's going to be a good looking trade there. Serve starting to go up there. Did get an alert there for Zing. Zing giving me alert there, guys. So Zing giving me alert back above that level there. Serve is also making the move through 1222s now. So those are the 2 trades that I like here. I will see if I get a pullback on Serve towards 12. Zing is one that's already getting the move there. And I've talked about how this one is one that I definitely want a shot in. Let's see if I can get this back below 1020s here and take a little bit of a shot there. So 1020s to $10 is really what I'm really trying to get after here. So I'm going to put 50 out at 1020s. I'm going to put 1010s, 50 there. I'm going to put 10, 50 there. I'm trying to put a ladder on this bad boy. Then 990s will be that last little 50 shares there. Got about 200 shares out right now to try to get in on Zing. So like pullback to the trend line is what I'd be looking at. So the trend line gets it back there towards, at minimum, like around the 1020s, 1025s. And then I'm looking to fill below that 1020s, not up here at the 1050s. If I go for the 1050s, I'm just asking for a move back to 10 and I get wiped out. So that's the trade right now. You guys can see this. I'll show you guys it right now. And there's another way that we can come about this. It could be a kind of a stop limit. So kind of trigger there and then trying to get that stop limit. We'll see what happens. I do have an alert also on this one towards 11. That's what you see here. So if you don't use your alerts on Trade the Pool, that's one feature you definitely should be using. And of course, order types. We can always use maybe like a stop limit or an open close order, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about some of these order types coming up here, guys. Smash the like. A lot more for you guys right here, of course, on Trade the Pool. Let's go, team. Market's taking the elevator down. Well, I don't know, man. This is hard, man, because the SPY climbed all the way back to 560s. It just seems like it's a little bit of chop land out there right now. But the climb is still higher. That's one thing's for certain. That's one thing I clearly see. The climb right now is higher. Qs slowing down now. Qs are a little bit weaker than I think the SPY, and that's one thing I'd kind of point to. Tesla, big reversal on Tesla right now. So Tesla's actually pretty weak today. There's zinging towards 1080s, guys. So did not get that pullback opportunity. Now it's probably going to trigger my 11. There's the trigger there, guys, to let you guys know, hey, this thing's moving now. And it's moving, guys. So the 15-minute chart, I'd start to really take a look at this. This actually doesn't look bad as it starts to clear back. First resistance test is 1160s, 1170s. That's the first spot we can go to. And boy, oh boy, did this get moving there. Maybe could have bought the 1050s. Maybe could have bought it when it was on the weak side of things. But right now, I'm looking to see if this comes back and starts to hit me on these buys. I got orders out there. I just need a quick little pullback. We'll see what happens on Zing. It's zinging, guys. It's zinging. RR is still pushing. Let's go to Serve also. Go take a look at Serve. Serve pulling back towards the 1209s. Looks pretty good there as it pulls back here towards the 12. I really kind of like that entrance there. I don't mind taking about 100 shares here to maybe take a shot on this one. Let's see if I can get an opportunity towards 12. All right, let's see if we can get a tiny bit pullback here, and I'll take a shot on Serve. There's another alert there on the action out there. We'll see what happens on this one. This is open on the pullback of 203. All right, open on that pullback of 203. I don't mind taking a little bit of a shot on that and just going for 500 shares here. Let's see if I can get it on that pullback. I'm going to put 202 out. It's actually just put out the 201. That 202 is not too bad. I think I'll get 202 by 201. So I put out the limit there. We'll see if I get the fill. Put 300 there. $200. Got to keep an eye also on the market overall because that's like kind of on a little bit of a pullback. It's still not a worrisome position, but so I just put out some orders there for open. We'll see if I get the fill there. Serve is trying to make the pullback towards 12, but it hasn't really pulled back there. I'm looking to see if I can get that 12. It's 1201 as on the low right now, so it's not a bad attempt here. It's going to be quick if it does hit it. All right, just put it out there to try to get a little bit there at 12. Could pull back towards like the 1195s, 1190s. I see that kind of bottoming attempt here. I think it's going to work it a little bit more. So I'm canceling right now as I look at the 1 minute or the 5 and I see an up one, down one, up two, down two. It could come right towards the 1180s and then work back through 12. So I'll set an alert when this gets back through 12 and let you guys know when Serve starts to go back through 12. For me, it's right now on a wait and see. Redfin, that's keeping the push strong. So open, not feeling too bad about at least getting an opportunity on that. No fill there though. I was right off the bid and it didn't want to fill me. So that tells me something that I might need to just step up to the plate if I want this. Or I got to go looking at Zillow. How's Zillow doing there? Zillow pulling back there and then holding in now, looking a little bit better, looking like it wants to take the 56 and start to run back towards the high. 56.50s is kind of the outlook there. We'll see if this really wants to start making the move. The 15-minute still has a pullback towards like 55.71s available to it, but it could already take the move. I think you're in between right now, a 5-minute and a 15-minute outlook. Let's see what happens on that. I'm going to look for one more dip. That's what I've been waiting for, the 55.60s, and then comes back through the 56. But that's Zillow for me here. We'll see what happens. TEM starting to pull back. BTBT on the pullback also around the 350s. Clean Spark now back towards that 12. This is kind of what I wanted to see. Now I'm looking for an undercut on Clean Spark and then a move back. I need to set an alert to try to get alert if it cuts through that 12. Definitely want to be watching that for starts to work its way back. So we'll see what happens on Clean Spark today and the Bitcoin names. Q's still bouncing around out there. We'll see what happens on that one. Let's go back to Zing. Zing definitely had some working orders out there. No fills on the pullback. It just didn't come back there. It went all the way to 12. So was this a bad stock for me to be on? Hell no, it wasn't, man. It was not a bad stock at all. I think it's on a halt now. No, it just slowed down. That's all it was. But watching it here, what a move there by Zing. It's hard to jump up here, right? Towards like the 1130s. I can't do it. I can't chase like that. But it was a good outlook. Just didn't get the trade on that. Misha, what's up out there? It's good to see you, Misha. Vic, 100 shares. Trader like you should go 10K on serve. Vic, you're a little insane, man. 10,000 shares? You being for real? Vic, come on. To tell you the truth, man, if I want to try to trade Lamborghinis, I can go trade Lamborghinis. But the truth is, that's not going to do anybody any favors, right? No one else is going to be taking 10,000 shares there on serve. I'll tell you right now, nobody else is taking that. And if they are, they're probably one of those furus, but we won't get into that action. It's okay. I know there's a lot of traders that think that's the best move. All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll see what else is out there. Lily swing working out. Yeah, Lily, not bad at all, right? I mean, the news today was actually really good there for Lily. How'd Pfizer do on that? Ooh, Pfizer trying to take 29 here, guys. It looks good. It held that VWAP pullback, holding sideways right now off that 29. Just recently went through that 29. So I would definitely keep an eye on that. There's Zillow with that down move there. So giving me that opportunity on Zillow through that 55.60. I'll look for it to come back through 55.75 on Zillow. And then that will definitely be that opportunity there. So 55.76, just set the alert there. When it comes back through that, if I get the next alert, I'll be trying to go for the buy there. NNE pulling back there. I do see the Qs making a quick down move here, guys. So just be careful out there. I'm not taking that trade. I've taken that a million times. Today's that day that it probably just happens, but we'll see what happens. SQQQ getting a little lift there off the 794s. Success, really quick push in success. So that tells me a little bit more, that quick push in success. Man, do we go after the cut down trade? That's kind of hard there. Tesla getting that downside action. If there's one that's ripping, guys, it's TTNP. TTNP just woke up. So that just woke up through that $10 spot there. We'll see what happens on this one. Of course, this one was a big mover in the pre-market. Could really get moving off that 10. I'm starting not to feel these big movers in the $10 spots that are getting the big wide spread. But there you guys see it. The volume came in. It's back there. Now the question is, will it get the run towards 1164 and really start to push? Zing pulling back here towards the 1126. Could pull back to the VWAP, the 1050s, but it's not doing bad on the day. It's something to watch. Tesla, downside action. Now back to 221. Definitely taking a hit there. NVIDIA taking a hit there, down towards 28, 128. So are we starting to see the leak out there? Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it. The only question is, will it follow through, right? So on the day, the weakest stock is energy, and it's actually coming back almost to the green from the open. So that tells me more and more that you're starting to see things start to bounce. So keep your eyes on that. We'll see what happens there. And at least energy, financial services looks red. And this looks like it's really trying to break down today. So Goldman Sachs could break that 500 and go lower. If I'm looking to short something, I'm looking to short financials. That doesn't look like a bad outlook there. FAZ could be a way to maybe trade this to the upside, right? This is kind of your downside action hit stock. Goldman Sachs, though, is definitely paid me well when I've gone after it. So I can't blame it, the trade right now off of this kind of 502 outlook. It's off the 501 right now. It'd be about a dollar risk at minimum. So just be careful, though, because Goldman Sachs loves to make this move and then come right back up and then take the down action move. So there you guys are getting that little bounce where I do get the opportunity here in Goldman Sachs. I'm going to go after Goldman Sachs today. Let's go. Let's see if I can say Goldman Sachs one more time. All right, guys, here's 501.50s by 502.50s. I'm going to go ahead and try to get 50 shares here and then look to maybe add towards this. All right, there, I'm short 50 shares. Now looking for it to come a little bit higher towards that 502.50. So let's go towards 502, like 25s. That's going to be where I can add another 50 shares. So I got that out there towards the 502.25s there, looking to add towards it as it bounces here, and then going to look for it to take down the 500 spot. So what I'm looking for is a down move through the 500 on Goldman Sachs. I told you I'd say it again. Q's going down there to the 480s. We'll see what happens. What do you think about gold? I've been on gold for a while. I just didn't take the trade, Misha. Axe Wisdom, right? Wisdom's been carrying that one. Be careful with serve. Yeah, I'll be careful, man. It's how it is, Vic. Serve now down towards 1150s. Imagine if I would have gone long the 10,000 shares, man. I would have blew this account right now. It'd be telling you guys, blown account. Oh, man, that's why I don't do that, man. That's why I can't do that. Got to stay within my range, right? Zillow pulling back there, and it's actually a bigger pullback now. It's actually taking a hit. TTNP up there and ripping, guys. This thing got awaken, right? It's just not my type of trade now. This is for you guys out there now. We'll see if this one keeps running. Goldman Sachs now making that down move, setting up for the 501 takedown through the 500. Of course, this one could run multiple dollars, so I don't need to go and overexpose myself. I've made a killing with 60 shares on Goldman Sachs before. So with that being said, I'm actually raising my limit add a little bit higher here. If it does fill me, it's more that it pops back and gives me a pop back fill. Qs, I need to see that let go, that 480s, and then we really start to cut down here. SQQQ, $8 scalp available now on the SQQQ. Question is, do I want it? That was a big rip in TTNP. Zing is another one to keep on watch for another big rip, but I'm telling you guys, it's just difficult trading on that Zing and on that TTNP. I think this could pull back instantly towards 10. You could play off that VWAP. You could also be looking for a move back to 12. So understanding the risk to return is so important. Right here, the risk is off 11. It's essentially down towards 10, $1, and up above 11 towards 12, which is also $1. So pretty much a one-to-one trade there available for you on Zing. I don't like one-to-one trades, but that's just how it goes. That was just a joke. I'm glad it was a joke, Vic. And don't worry, I took it serious, but I hope somebody out there at least got a laugh from it, Vic. But that's just how it goes, man. And Serve, I have gone up to like 600 shares, just to mention, right? I have gone up there. Barrick is my favorite player this week. Yeah, definitely the one to play. I also like the way the AU trades in gold. AU has a tendency of just trending, right? So look at the trend that this happened. This thing has just, it pulls back, but the trend when it goes higher, it's it loves to hold that 90 EMA and then just start to trend. So looks good there. We'll see what happens. Alcoa, one play that I wanted to look at today, right? Would we see aluminum get the lift today? It did push up there to the 34.70, now back towards the 34. So you're getting an opportunity here in aluminum if you feel this is a play. CENX was one that I was looking at, looking to see this hold the 1424. It's actually holding pretty well. Could take 15 by the end of the day. This is not a bad outlook to look at. I could see this thing coming right back towards this trend line, towards $16, $17. The play is there. Question is, I want to get after it. We'll see it. All right, since I'm seeing some downside swings there, guys, I got to go in protecting what? The swing trades, right? Because the swing trades are the ones that will get dragged down. So this Planet Labs, as much as I had like $100 and something earlier, and it was making a move, I was looking for the move to $3. It's starting to cut down and starting to get a little bit worrisome here. So at this point, I need to make sure that I set a stop loss in the green. I'm setting the stop loss right there. I could take the money and run right here off the 276, but I still got to give it the chance to catch a little bit of a dip. We'll see what happens in Planet Labs, but there you guys have it. We'll see if this one pulls back. It could pull back to the 250, and I don't want it to come back into the red. So right now, 270s, I'm going to hold off of that. Stop right there at the 270s. We'll look for it to come right back to the upside. Another order that we can do, and you know what? I'm going to do this order so that you guys can see it. You guys probably haven't taken that order, but definitely you guys can take a look at that. I'm going to do a different order here to show you guys it. Let's go ahead and let me detach this. This is on the swing trade account. I got to keep watch to see what happens there, and Goldman sucks, but Qs are going down, so I don't feel bad about Goldman sucks. PL, CAT also coming down fast there, guys. So I'm going to keep watch on that because the market keeps dragging, and it looks like it is. Yeah, it is dragging a pretty substantial amount. Might have to cut CAT. So what I'm going to do for CAT is I'm going to set a stop, break even on CAT right now. So don't want this to wash me out, and then all of a sudden I'm caught in this name. We'll see if I can get back into CAT. I've been giving it the attempt, but like always, got to know what you're doing there. PL, let's do here a different type of order. Let's do a open to close order. All right, so here I'm going to put the stop price at the 270, and it's on a sell, right? Regardless of the order, regardless of the way that this trades, it's going to be a sell order. It's going to be a sell stop, and it's also going to be a sell limit for the up move, right? So on this up move, I'd be trying to sell towards, let's say, $3 or 305, right? So 305 and a stop with 270, right? We can place this order here, and it seems like I kind of switched it up there, but let me go ahead and set this up here. Got it on the side chart here. Let me fix it up. It's because I have the trying to set this up here. Let me get this right here. Q's bouncing a little bit there, guys. Focusing on that bounce there. Got to keep an eye on Goldman sucks there, but let me just go ahead and set the stop here. I'm going to fix this up in just a second here. Just want to go look at Goldman sucks right quick, see if I need to add to it. Okay, so it's up about $50 there. I'm thinking about adding to this though. It is dropping fast there. I think this bounce could eventually just get that wipeout look. All right, watching this, guys, as it starts to come up here. I'm looking to see if I can add to Goldman sucks right now. Let me attach this right here. Take a look at it on this chart. My preferred charting here. All right, looks good to cut down that 500 here. See if we can get that 500 cut, and then we'll really start to get into the green there. $220s is what it looks like on the downside action. I'm going to look for a little bounce here towards the 501. That's when I could go ahead and add. I wouldn't add unless it was towards 501.10s on the bid. So seeing Tempest pull back there. I'm seeing SLRN pull back a little bit. Some of the fast movers. Look at TTNP. That's still trading out there at the 1150s and on the long-term halt. SQQQs is definitely something to take a look at there. We'll see what happens as it starts to push through the 8s, but definitely need to keep an eye on it. Guys, this is when I got to go ahead and be in kind of preservation modes towards the swing trades, also focused on this day trade, on taking advantage of the GS move. I could also take a look at some different actions on the longer term. Like if for any reason the market comes back and it goes through that 482 on the Qs, or let's say 561 on the SPY, I could look at Zillow as one of those names that I want to go ahead and buy, right? Got to keep looking to see if there's any orders out there that could catch you. Another thing is, an important thing is looking at your working orders, making sure that it's on the swing traders side of things. You are okay. Like right now, I remember I cut out of Best Buy. I had a stop out there that could have stopped me and actually triggered a short on Best Buy, which I would not want to have done. So I'm taking a look at that action. XLU is also kind of a little bit weak here, but letting that one work here. CAT, I got the stop right underneath it. Could get me out at any moment here. And PL, I also got it right underneath. Just making sure that those positions are going to be protected here. We'll go back to that action. Let's go to the day trading action. And around 1050, I'll talk a little bit more about some orders. I just want to focus in here and make sure that I tackle this trade here. Zing is another one that I'm keeping a close eye on. Now it's coming back off of that 1050 VWAP bounce. So the 1050 available to you on that Zing. Now the question is, does Zing want to go right back up there and really make another breakout? So the availability is there off the 11. Now the question is, will they take it? Let's find out here, guys. Not a bad trade there in Zing. The availability is there. I was looking at more of that $10, that 1020 pullback, right? Never got that. Let's see what happens. This starts to break 11 and goes back towards the 12. Q's looking like it wants to make that next down move here. So that's actually a good outlook there. GS is bouncing a little bit, trying to get close to that 501 ad, but no ad just yet there. Problem with the ad is that the ad's going to get me to the offer. So you got to be careful when you're dealing with a spread like this. I've talked about it. When you're dealing with a spread that's wider, you got to be smaller. So I'll probably just stay with my 50 shares right now. Whew, what a day, guys. Let's keep battling out there. Clean Spark down to 1167. That thing just caught some Bitcoin buyers today. BTBT also not making the move because just the overall market and the Qs just dragging. 480s now hitting through the low, through the opening price is so important. Qs now through that opening price look like they are starting to collapse here. So SARK is another way to maybe play a swing trade off of this momentum. So I talked about how I wanted to take some other swing trade. Let's see if I can get the tiniest bit of SARK. Even if it's a small position, I don't mind. I just want to get a little position, give myself a potential bigger move, right? $4 or $5, something like that. Wow. TTNP, guys. TTNP opened up and it went to 14, guys. What a crazy move there. TTNP. Look at that move. Holy moly. That stock is just ripping. That thing opened up there. It's towards 14, guys. What a move. It could pull back to 12 at any moment, so keep that in mind. But what a move there in TTNP. Hope somebody was able to nail that. ASTS view. All right, I'll take a look at that one in a second here. I think that one's on a turnaround, and I haven't seen it today, but that would tell me turnaround, right? Because it's just not that type of day today. And yeah, you are getting that turnaround look and a lot of topping action off that 40. So 40 is your topping action. Now where the support is. Support's all the way down to 27.68. It could go down that far. So that's one thing that I'd keep in mind. It's right now in the middle. So you're kind of a pig. You're not a bull or a bear. You're grabbing it here, but it is coming down. Could take that all the way down to 27.68 today. And that is a fade stock, and it's fading out there. That would tell me to be careful with other space names like SPCE heading down to the downside, right back towards the 670s. That tell me to take a look at any of those kind of space names that were doing really well, could turn around and really start to get hit. So keep your eyes on that one. SIDU that was making a little bit of a pop. That's actually on the downside right now. A lot of that is what you're seeing here. RDW, that was up there towards 7. Red wire, it's right back down to 655 as space takes a hit today. GS, we'll see what happens on that one. Did get a little bit of Stark, and that's already moving a little bit higher. I'll try to get a little bit more later, and that's on the swing trade account, but GS is bouncing a little bit here. All right, guys, as GS bounces there, and I do get an opportunity here closer towards my entry, I'm going to take a little ad here. See if I can get into the 40s, a 501.40. It's at 38s right now, 39. There you go, got it. Just added there on Goldman Sachs. Got 80 shares now of Goldman Sachs. Looking for the 500 takedown. If it takes down through that 500 towards 499, I can take some profits and then really look to see if this really starts to break down here. Qs need to break down. The XLF needs to break down. So that's another thing to look at here. I could look at the XLF and I could do pretty much a hedge trade here. I could short it or long it. I could long it looking to try to make the money back if Goldman Sachs doesn't work. But what I'm looking for here really is for this to get rejected, to go to the 44s, hits here, the 44 starts coming right back down through that 43.80s. We'll see what happens here. Financial services still in the red, looking to see what happens. Utilities slightly red. What's green in the last hour? Only thing green in the last hour is defensive names. So Procter Gamble, one to take a look at as this starts to lift through 169, right? Dole, one that I've been thinking about. Kevu, that's holding in well there off that 2150s. Taking a look at Clorox. Clorox doing pretty well now towards 150. The recession play is actually doing well today. Not a good sign for certain other stocks. Colgate-Palmolive looking like it wants to make a move towards 103. We'll see if that can make that move towards 103. So these defensive names really getting the lift a little bit here. So something definitely to watch. Let's see what the strength is in the defensive names. G-Sun is one of these names that falls under this space. That's actually interesting. Shot. Safety shot. Shot. Looking around, guys. Campbell's Soup making an up move day. It's all about the soup. TTNP right back down, man. That's such a hard play out there, guys. Be careful out there. Qs look like they want that down move here. They look weak, man. They look weak. AMD was one that I talked about how that one could be a weak day after such strength, and it's on the VWAP bounce play right now. So I could kind of play it off of that VWAP bounce where it could get it shorted off of this move. But I just don't like shorting on the VWAP bounce type of trade because that's easy, a little bounce there, right? Tesla's more of a weak kind of trade, really starting to break down. Could maybe bounce to 223s, but could really take out this 221. JPM is another way that I can look to see if the banks start to turn around. Goldman Sachs starting to make that down move here. That's the one I'm betting on right now. We'll see what happens. SPY still dragging in there. SQQQ is still holding off that 8. Still haven't broken that 8. SOX S though climbing to 22s. Clean Spark, definitely one of those names that definitely taking a hit today. HUT, those Bitcoin names, right back down. So is Tempest. Tempest AI, right back down to the 65.38s. PanW now at 370s. That's actually climbed on the day. Didn't do bad at all. Did Snow do well? Snow did pretty well today. Zscaler, taking a look at that. That's actually doing all right. We'll look to see if Zillow comes back on the day. That's not doing well right now. Open is actually back down below $2. That just goes to show you guys, market turning around on us today. Now I got to see what's dragging the most. I see basic materials, so gold probably on the pullback on this. Yeah, gold is on the pullback with this move. Aluminum trying to make another up move here. This was not a bad watch here. This AA Alcoa. I like this name right now. All right, going for a little buy here in Alcoa. All right, put an order out there right now. Let's see if I can get the fill on the pullback. I put it out there at the 22s, so I'm looking towards the 20s right now to try to get some fill here on Alcoa. All right, trying to put some orders out here on the pullback to get filled here. I got an order out to add at 34.16s. Got 100 shares long of Alcoa. So going a little aluminum trade here. Getting a portion of AMD swings. I guess that's not a bad one. I bet you Goldman Sachs is shorting its own stock with you. Oh, wouldn't that be funny, man? Wouldn't that be funny? All right, the Q's just playing around now, guys. So we'll see what happens on that one. Alcoa doing pretty well there. So I kind of like this one. I'm going to probably step up to the plate on this one. Yeah, let's take 100 more. Still looking for another pullback fill. Putting that add towards 34.10s now. If I add, I want to add on the bigger pullback back below this. So stepping up to the plate in Alcoa, but at the same time, looking for a little bit more pullback on that. Goldman Sachs back up above the VWAP. Got to be careful with this bad boy. There are the Qs looking like it wants to make the move. Now I really want to see the Qs just take out those lows now. Looking to see if I can get an add here above the VWAP towards 50, like 75s. All right, guys, willing to take a little bit more of Goldman Sachs. If I can get a little bit towards the VWAP. VWAP is around 75s, 80s. There it goes. It just got me there, guys. So just got the fill there at the 501.97s. Just hit that. So, hey, that's not a bad fill there. Now I needed to just go ahead and understand the risk to return. It could go back through 503s. That's going to be my risk, right, towards 503s. So right now I'm setting it at 503.30s. That's going to be really the ultimate risk there for me, about $175 there. But looking for the Qs to do this takedown, and there it goes, guys. There's the takedown in the Qs. So can we get the action? Let's see it there. Qs dropping to 479 now, really starting to let go. ARM taking a hit there. TSM down there. So I could scalp these names too, like NVIDIA through 127 here. Let's see what happens. Will we really start to see these collapse? SMCI had a lot of up bets, and you can see how that one's really weak. So definitely starting to see the weakness all around. AMAT, that's definitely taking a hit there. Netflix has been strong as of late, taking a quick pullback there. So definitely starting to see these names really take a hit. Be careful out there, guys. Q's now to 479. So feeling good about this Goldman Sachs. Just gotta keep playing it, man. Keep playing it. Right now, it's definitely closer towards the 502, 503 push. $502.20s now. I'm gonna add a little bit more here in a second. Let's see, 502.40s. Yeah, 502.40s. Gonna be the last ad there at 502.40s. Another 20 shares. I got it out there right now. Looking for this to cut down. I'm gonna take a shot here. Alcoa pulls back here. Now kind of holding in here. This is when I'm gonna take my shot in Alcoa and then just set the risk. 34.10s did not fill me just recently, and it went towards the 34.08s. So pulling back on that. Let's go to the 15-minute outlook here. Really wanted to take back there the 34.20s. Risk is through that 34s. Could see a little bit more pullback here, back towards the 34s. So just backed off on the sizing here. No order to add right now. Still got the 200 shares. Risking about the 24 cents right now. And then once it starts to get in the green, I'll take a bigger swing in Alcoa. TTNP back down and opens up towards 1170s. Could take another move, but boy, oh boy, is this one a hard one to trade. Zing up there towards 1150s and continuing to battle out there. For those smaller players, this is playing still. All right, finally broke 8, the SQQQ. Yeah, it was a hard 8 to break. Qs now down to 479, guys. I'm taking a shot out there, guys. I'm taking a shot. Risking about $51 there on Alcoa. I'm going to leave that alone because it could get dragged down with the market. So at least I established the risk there. Now I got to go after my Goldman Sachs trade. There's the Qs now down to 479. So that just took another leg lower. Look at that. Qs now down to 479. NVIDIA breaking that low. We are seeing that downside turn there. AMD went from that 159 really quickly to that 157.80s. So that could have been an opportunity too. It's just a fast move there. So you got to be able to handle that type of trade. Let's see what happens here in Goldman Sachs. Tried to add there at the 502.40s here. Putting the 502.50s here just because I see the Qs breaking down the SPY and this is not going through it. So leak is starting to happen in some of the smaller names, so be careful out there, guys. I'm also seeing the IWM leaking big today, guys. That tells me a sign that you are seeing small caps get hit and you're seeing the Qs get hit. You're seeing that weakness come into the market. So SOX has swing trades are going to be on all day long. So some people are going to be taking trades off of that. I wouldn't mind to see it cut down back through 22s, 21s, and then maybe take a shot off of that. We'll see what happens there. Alcoa definitely taking me a hit back down through that 34. We'll see what happens later in Alcoa, but took a hit there, guys. I'm still up about $100 today. So taking that shot there in Goldman Sachs today. And that's really where I'm going to take the shot. It still looks like it could just collapse right through the 500. And that's how this stock loves to do it. So I'm battling out there, guys, trying to take this bad boy down. Tempest or TTNP back towards 1350s. That ripped off 12, man. So $502s showing up here, guys. I feel like I have enough of Goldman Sachs now. I just need to kind of just wait to see if this breaks. Looking for that move back down to 540s, 550s, and that's going to be the make it or break it stage. Redfin, though, staying strong there. Redfin staying strong. That's interesting. A little part of me feels like shorting that because it's too strong the way the market's trading right now. That's just relative. CleanSpark now down to 1166, so that's definitely taking a down hit. Zing holding off of that 1140 could make a move. We'll see. This Goldman Sachs now starting to come down there. We'll see if it actually breaks now. Q's just going lower, guys. That they're getting washed on right now. Question is, what's getting hit the hardest here? Dexcom down almost 4%. ARM down 3%. Dash down 2%. LRCX down 2.49%. So AMAT down also big. On Semiconductor, Micron, all of them just getting whacked. It seems like a trend is happening right now, guys. So looking at that, right? I could look at stocks at VWAP to short, like Cisco. This seems to me like a short. Why? Because it's above VWAP here, yet all the other names are getting hit, right? So things like that are interesting to me. Marriott here, as it started to come back and lodging started to look better, right? Now it's probably going to take a hit. Oh, I know one that we could come after on the cheap, right? Is Victoria's Secret. I feel like this could just easily just get the smack right back down, as it is climbing strong. But of course, now it's going to run into a down day in the market. And you can see how XRT is going down to that 76.70. Look at Starbucks. Starbucks is one that I'll also take a look at there, but that's actually making an up move there. That's a little bit interesting to see Starbucks moving on that. But definitely looking at other names to see what I can go after there. Victoria's Secret right back down. It doesn't look too bad there. Pan W, how's that doing now? Strong name, right? How's this staying? It's holding well right now. Tem AI back down to 63.50s, way below the VWAP. So opportunities there if you like this name. I just don't like it, man. The Tempest AI, I'd have to risk off like 61. It's still a decent sized spread, about 40 cents. TTMP went up there to 13s, now pulling back. It got up there all the way to the 1390s and recently went to 1480s. What a move on this one. This one will make your heart move all around, guys. So just be careful out there with that TTNP. Gman sucks, still moving all around here, guys. We'll see what happens. Still could make a move towards the upside here. So just keeping that in mind. Got to keep my risk in check. That's what it's always about here. Canceling down my limit ad right now because there's just no point in just sitting there if it's not going to fill me. So I'll look to see if I get the instant fill when I want to actually put it out there. All right, looking around, guys. What do you guys got? The secret's out, Wisdom. All right, we'll see what else is out there, guys. What are you guys looking at out there, traders? What are you guys watching? Looks like a lot of you guys probably already headed toward the door. It's been a tough day, for sure. I'm in the green, but it hasn't been easy. Seeing that downside come in the market, it's definitely shaking things around, right? Tesla, talked about how that one could come down today. It's now the 220s. That's actually looking like it wants to really break back down. Getting that trend line approach here. So around this 220s is also where you find buyers. So we'll see what happens. PayPal was mentioned earlier today by someone in the chat, talking about how this was strong. It is strong right now, guys. Just made a nice move to 72.50s, pull back to the VWAP, 71, still in play here for the move back through 72.50s. Definitely doesn't look too bad here. It's pulled back on the 5-minute, has a support right underneath it around the 71s. Look to see if it hits that, and it works its way right back towards 72.50s. All right, Goldman sucks. What are you going to do, man? Sol showing up. Some solar names moving today, guys. What's up with Run? That's on the pullback. That got up there to 2025. Light. Lamentum Holdings. This thing is moving today. Communication equipment stock. It's moving strong. Q's now getting a little bounce there, and it's a little one, but it is bouncing a little bit. This will give you opportunities on the downside if you're trying to go after it. NVDS, the bear daily ETF for NVIDIA. What's up out there, traders? Time to catch up some comments in the chat. What are you guys trading? Wake up. What's up? I think you guys got caught on that downturn like I did. Feels like the chat got quiet there. I feel it. All right, traders, let's keep going. Let's see what we can find. Trying to take another trade here, but I see the Q's bouncing back. So you do get an opportunity here to see if you want to take that bounce back trade. TTMP got up there multiple times, man. That thing is just moving all around. So you got to be careful with that one. And when you take profits, it might be one of those stocks where you got to be either taking quick profits or just kind of hanging on by a thread. That thing's just moving all around here. Zing hanging out here. We'll look to see if we ever get a move on Zing. It did pull back to the VWAP, came back to 11, really hasn't making that next step up. The big thing is the volume just died. So it needs volume. SPRY. I'll call it Spray. Spray looks like it's doing pretty well in the day. STEC showing up on the scanners here, guys. A 50-cent stock. Asset management stock. Looks like it wants through that 54 cents. This has gapped and halted 2 times. So it could start making an up move for the halt. We'll see what happens there. STEC, Stantec Holdings. Nothing that I'm looking at to trade right now, but it did show up on the scanners really quickly. Q's bouncing there, guys. It's bouncing. It's coming back towards the 480s. We'll see if it does take another hit down, but that's why I'm in the red right now. I feel like we just need to see this start to let go. We'll see what happens here. XLF just hanging out around this 44. This is that kind of rejection level that I'm looking to see not get back above that, and it can go towards 44.06 and 44.16s. So looking to see if that starts to really reject there and we start to really break through the lows. The lows are that 43.90s that we want to see that kind of cut through and really take out these 3 lows. So you got 3 lows, take that out, 43.80s, and start to break down. All right, guys, so that doesn't look too bad. Then maybe take a shot just off that 44, right? It's not a bad area to take a shot off of. The 5-minute has been up there, what? 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up. Let's try to let it go to 44 one more time, and then it should let go and not get back above that 44. So I'm looking at potentially shorting even the XLF, the ETF that I'm pretty much Goldman Sachs is under, right? One more pop then the fade right back down. That's what I'm looking for. Try to get through that 44, fail, and then go down. That's XLF. Looking for that decline to come in now. And I could scalp XLF and then look for Goldman Sachs to give me that bigger gain on the range type of trade. I've done this before in the past where I have Goldman Sachs, I scalp XLF, I scalp FAZ to the upside, and then I go ahead, take those quick profits and use that to provide the cushion to take the bigger swing in Goldman Sachs. 12 base hits, no home runs, take it and you're done, baby. Hey, wisdom, you can't be mad if you got those base hits. Got to take the base hits when you can, man. How's that PayPal doing? There's that 71 opportunity. It hit there on the VWAP. We'll look to see if this goes back to 72.50s. Zinging, trying to get back above that 1150s. This is actually not a bad opportunity. The only question is how to take it and how to have the right risk to return, right? Because the daily chart is opened at 1197s, could take 12 and go back to green. A move up could be to 15 and higher towards 20. It's about $10, right? I mean, there's a lot of potential reward if it really gets going on Zing. So I feel this is an interesting one here. Sideways action on the 15. Now could take that next level. 1210. It was just that. All right, starting to see that full trend line start to form here for Zing. You can see how you made a move up there before. You made an up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Just tried to make that rocket above the 1150s towards the 1160s. Could see like maybe 1140s, 1130s show up before we get the rocket to 12, but that's just what I'm looking at in Zing. There's the XLF rejection to go back towards the 43.97, now towards the 94s. Could just cut down through that 85 and really start to let go. So that's kind of be one trade that I could take right here. But it wouldn't be the biggest trade. I'd have to size up. I'd have to go for the scalping size, like 500 shares, something like that. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shot there in a second, but I'm looking for one more upside on the Qs to get there again and try to go up there and just fail really quickly. The Qs are trying to hit the 90 MA right now. So this is the way I think that you could get that rejection on the Qs and see this just start to get hit. So I'm watching it right now to see if it's going to reject kind of the 15-minute support, 40, 80, 20s here, and come right back down. See what happens there. XLF still just chomping around. Could still go to that 44 and then make the down move. That's why I'm leaving that one alone for right now. Zing now starting to make the move up there. I'm going to take a shot on this Zing. Just got to be careful. And I should start to size. I should stay small early. That's going to be the key. Ooh, I just tried to put that 1140s out there. I tried to get that order out there, guys. It just popped off my order there. Like I put the order out, and as soon as I put the order out, it jumped 20 cents. I hate when that happens, guys, because I do not like jumping up on an order like that. So now I just got to sit back and see if I get a pullback fill. And I put the orders out there. I just didn't get the fill right now. Look how it is, guys. This is it right there. So let's see if I get these pullback fills here. I'm going to separate this out towards the 30s just to give myself a little advantage. I got 1140s, 1130s out there. It's back towards the 1150s. I'd like to see the trend line hit here. So the trend line tells me a pullback towards this layer and then a move back higher, right? So up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3, holds that trend line. Could pull back all the way towards this kind of 1128s, but really looking for this to push back through the 1180s. So you get this kind of one-up move, right? Sorry about that. Drew that horribly. Let's go fix it. Up 1, right? Just got a hit there. Something got hit there. I heard it in my ears. I'm thinking it's over here. Yeah. Cat just got stopped out of there. So SARK is one that I can add to now. Let's go with 60 shares here on SARK. All right, there. Now I got 90 shares. Not bad. I could add to it a little bit. Sorry. Know what the hell I drew there, but all right, risk is going to be down towards this 29.20s, about $110. Really looking for a bigger swing there in SARK. PL is right off that support, 270s. If it cuts 270s, I get out and I take that money and run. XLU is struggling up here at the 75s. I'm still looking for that 76, but I'm starting to think I might be a little bit greedy on that. So I'll keep an eye on it. There's the Qs, guys, starting to make that down move here. So let's go back to it. Zing. No fill back on that, man. I'm going to be a little frustrated on that. Definitely wanted to be in Zing today, guys. I tried it. You guys saw me. Just no entry, right? And PETA, yeah. PETA, what a short. That thing just dropped like a tank. Zing, I still like it, man, but just not getting the fills. And if I'm not getting the fills, I'm not going to just jump. I'm not going to go outside of my rules there and jump it. Did I like Zing today? You guys heard me mention it multiple times in the pre-market. Look at that thing. That thing has a real potential chart. right? A real potential chart. I'm just going to leave it alone now, though. I missed it. I had the opportunity there. Just didn't grab it. So be it. All right, we'll see what happens here on Goldman Sachs. It is trying to cut back down. Looking for that cut down now. It's 10:58, guys. We got to start to wrap it up here. So I'm going to show you guys one more order that's interesting here. So a stop limit here, guys. So one order that you can be using to maybe add to a short, right? So I'm going to only add very small amount, probably about 20 shares there. But I wanted a trigger, right? And where's the breakdown spot for me? Well, I want this to break down back through that 501, and then I can really hold off to 502. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a trigger of 501. And if it does trigger at 501, go to try to short it on any bounce. Bounces have been about 30 cents, 50 cents on this, right? So I'll put there 30s. And so if it hits 501, it's going to throw a stop limit order at 501.30s. So it's not an instant fill, but an instant trigger off that one that then actually puts a limit order that I want to get hit. You can do this also on the upside. Let's say for that specific stock like Zing, I could have taken a small entry and then a stop limit to put that limit out on pullbacks to get filled. This is one way that you can approach breakouts on the upside. So you put the stop on the breakout spot and then you put a limit underneath it to see, hey, trigger there, then put the order out, then try to fill me. Don't try to fill me on the breakout at 12 because I'll probably get 12.10s and the stock will come back there towards like, let's say 11.80s and I get stopped out versus I put out stop at 12, limit at 11.80s. I get the 12 push. It goes to 12.02. It pulls back. It hits that 11.80 limit. I get filled and instantly I look back and it's at 12.08 already. Things like this are one ways that you guys can be using advantages on the order type. Take a look at these order types. It could definitely give you guys a push in the right direction. As you guys see it, I'm taking my shot on Goldman Sachs today. That's going to be the stock to make it or break it for me. We'll find out what happens in the Qs and the SPY today. We're on a leak, and we need to keep a watch on that. I've talked about it. Before the open, before the show started, I said 8 straight days to the upside. At some point, we're going to get some downside, guys. Today, it seems like that is the day. Now the question is, do you take bets accordingly, right? Swing traders will be watching for shorts at the close. I will be watching for swing shorts, right? I might have to take all my swing longs, take the money and run, and actually start to swing short. That's what I'm doing with SARK, essentially. I'm taking a position against some of my positions. And that's what you have to do. So when you see rotation turning, especially as a swing trader, we need to be able to rotate with that, right? Well, that's going to do it for us today, guys, like always. And if you guys have any questions on any order type or struggling to use some of the different order types, let me know because I do want to kind of talk about that. I want to kind of discuss that with you guys. Like always, questions are needed, guys. So you guys got to give me the feedback. Hit the comments after the show. Of course, we got the chat going on in the YouTube the whole time, and you guys out there on X tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the action today. Not a bad day overall. 101 on the day on the upside right now. We'll see what happens on Goldman Sachs. I'm in the green now. You guys are about to see that stop trigger get hit there and the limit go out. We'll see what happens if that works out. But there you guys see it. Not a bad day. Balancing out there, guys. And of course, this was a balancing act. Because the truth is, I still took some losses, right? I took a loss on Alcoa. I was battling there in TGL, got back into the green, was able to manage things. And that's what a real trader does. He's in manage mode a lot of the times and not in just profit mode, right? We're not always going to be just in the profits. We'll see what happens here, guys. It's been a great day overall. Going to continue to battle. The Qs are just kind of chomping around. I'm watching the Qs more than the overall market just because tech seems to lead the boat. And we'll see if this actually takes out the low, that 478.60. If that happens, that should be looking really good there for my Goldman Sachs trade. We'll see what happens. Still no trigger off that 501 cut down. We'll see if I'm able to get that trigger and add to this position and take a bigger swing. Also could still short the XLF. I'll be watching that to maybe take a shot on that and just cut this down to the 43, like 83s on a scalp action. I would really like to see the Qs heading toward the low to give me that opportunity. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the action. Keep taking a look into the trading action. We'll see what happens on the swing side of things. We'll find out tomorrow, guys. I might have a whole nother set of swing trade ons. You guys can always keep up with me at MoneyMitch_TTP, of course. Trade the pool. If you haven't checked it out before, take a look at it. You guys saw me today. I wanted more buying power. Yes, I said it. I need more buying power. Smash the like. Trade the pool is definitely one way to get more buying power. I just might need to step it up to the next package. I'll see you guys like always, guys. Smash the like. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. And like always, trader, keep working on 1 or 2 skills, a habit that you can make improvements on. Today, I actually took a step back. I was taking a step forward in my habits and making a bad habit a good one. Now today, I take a step back and I reassess, and I just tell myself, keep small in the pre-market, guys. It's not about finding a huge runner. It's about trying to take starters and feelers in the market to let one trade maybe give you a nice cushion on the intraday, which of course we all love, right? Who wouldn't want $150 or $200 head start, right? We all like that, but I also got to keep in mind that we're also not going to just go big red early, because it could have us actually start the day at, let's say, down 70 or down $100. That's acceptable. Now, starting the day down 300, in my book, not the way to trade. And I got to learn from that, right? Going to keep battling, guys. I will see you guys back tomorrow. Hit the likes. Tell me what you guys are liking on the show, what you guys aren't. At the end of the day, I'm here to make you guys get better. How? Understanding of system and process. That's what it's all about, guys. Keep upping your skills. I'll see you guys back, and stay safe out there. The market ain't easy, and we're definitely seeing some downside out there. We'll see if the Qs cut down through the low, and I'm able to make a nice gain on Goldman Sachs. Smash the like, guys. Stay safe out there. And like always, traders, keep getting after it. There's only one way. You got to keep pushing, guys. I'll see you guys back in the morning.